Yes, sir. Hear ye, and all that good stuff. Mic check. What's going on? Realm, what's going on, y'all? Talk to me. Six Slayer, what's up? Victor Alistine, what's going on? Christopher Hart, Dizzy in the building. Already know. Squirrely Dan, I see you. No bad deal. Let me know how my levels is good. Fun show today. Let me know how that's going. Yeah, Trosty Nice. King gonna do the chip of death. We're going to watch, but you got to stay to the end of the show. DeFloyd, thank you for that, brother. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? What's good? Lucius Augustus, what's going on? Jason Jones, oh, you got the Bucks? All right. You got that Tom Brady? What's going on? T. Hetris, Weatherby, what's going on? Rob C, thank you, brother. Thank you. Someone's work on a Sunday. Okay. You going to listen to this in your cubicle. Okay. My man, sick.
In the new intro, it does say you can listen
to your cubicle. Attic in the building, you know what I'm saying? We about to get DreamcastGuy in here. About to see what's up with Hoeg. I ain't hear from Hoeg yet. Hopefully Hoeg can still come through. King is ready, you know what I'm saying? Solve is going to be coming through, pulling up. We got a fun show. These topics is lit. I'm excited. Attic got a new hat. It's lit.
New hat?
Yeah, what's that new joint you got? That's fire. I like that. You got the shape up too? Oh, you going out tonight. I didn't go out. Nah, you should have put the logo was fire. You should have left it.
I'm good on all that. I don't know where my ILP ones are in the world.
Oh, okay, so you try to keep it on the brand. You don't want to wear nothing else that's not the brand?
Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Respect. Oh, man, yo, thank you. Yo, first of all, KSLT, salute. NYT Music, brother. Thank you. $5 super chat. Hype, definitely hype. So we're going to get the room. He said my mic is a little louder than Attic. Okay, let me check. Because normally they be like, yo, Cog, you too low. Attic, turn your mic up a little bit. I think they can't hear you a little bit. Get your levels up. Slightly. Don't get too crazy. Give him a mic check. Yeah, what about Attic now? Talk to him, Attic.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Am I there?
Yeah, I think you sound good.
I'm secretly in your conscience.
Alright, no doubt. Alright, Dizzy got something for me. Let me see, Dizzy, what's going on? Oh, yeah. I did the update. I'll try to update it again. Thank you for that, though. I don't know why Twitch is doing that, but I'll take care of that on the back end, sadly. All right, y'all. We're going to get ready for these guys to come in, and then we will be back. And big show, so we're going to have some fun. You know, talk to you guys in a bit.
Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I want to do.
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that
super
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I want to do.
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep
super
that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I am addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I want to do.
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm
Keep
just
that
super
going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't wanna be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they wanna compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment. They call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rings. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do?
Don't stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gon' hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never been a loser. Making Voltron with a gang of cougars. And I'm going places, better tell a Uber. Cause it's pretty hard to sleep on Freddy Krueger. Let's do that again. Hear ye, man. Welcome to the show. If you would not mind, go ahead and find yourself a spot, get comfortable, grab a snack, do all that good stuff that we need to do, and we're about to get started. It's not important who I am. What's important is that you are pulling up to the Iron Lords podcast right now as we speak, and I guess I'm here to keep you entertained until it's time to get this show started. So, look. Y'all done messed up and turned me to an animal. And haters be swearing they real, but come to find out that they really mechanical. And yeah, I be eating these rappers, but that's all a part of me being a cannibal. And they say I'm better than money because you can bank on me being accountable. I know a million rappers that don't want to be on a song with me, that's understandable. I kill a beat and they want to compare me to Freddie and Jason. I'd rather be Hannibal. They be like, why use a video game? Just be original, y'all too dramatical. I know it's random, but I'm addicted to flipping the sample and making it flammable. This is that yoga, fire, flame. They think it's arson up in the apartment, they call it department and I get the blame. Still I be running, collecting them rains. You just a target when I'm in the range. I was the hardest to start regardless back when you was messaging people on AIM. Check my vocals, all on Twitter, but I'm anti-social. Love my city, but I'm still bi-coastal. Let's switch that up.
What is you doing?
What I wanna do,
Don't
man.
stop. Nah, that was dope.
I'm just
Keep that going. Keep that going. Nah, go ahead.
Look, I guess you could say that I'm very spoiled. For them to be your dogs, they ain't very loyal. But I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't here to boil you. You ain't gotta say it, I'm embarrassed for you. Always been a nerd, never. I'ma just chill and watch them and eat snacks in the attic. I wanted to chill with the pack and be like a young wolf, but then they would mistake me for addict. If I can imagine it's cool to give you some advice, then invite your girl to your squadron. Cause if you don't give her that option, you gon' be single player like Sovereign. You gon' get tossed in the bushes by King David. Royalty and not a pretender. Detrimental to an elemental, what's an avatar to a knee bender. I gotta be me though. I know it's my destiny, word to Cognito. Who cares if you fly, if you still a mosquito? You swear you ain't stuntin', but really be Steve-O. You like to collect stuff and that's cool, but I got bad news. Even if you really was that dude, King David still be the king of the statues. Since a juvenile, I've been cursed with a curse to be musical. And if you hate it, we'll meet in the crucible. Other than that, then it's cool and it's beautiful. We let you know that your dreams are pursuable. Whatever you wanna do, then it's doable. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day. Woo. If you got work on a Sunday, it's suitable. Cause you can listen to this in your cubicle on the Lord's Day.
All right. Hear ye. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the lordsofgaming.net, episode number 192. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest. And we've got Bethesda's IndianaJonesGame, a new Star Wars game from Ubisoft, CDProjektRed's recent apology, and GameStop shares to discuss, so we gonna get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose passion for gaming and consistency as a content creator has truly been remarkable to watch. Whether it be his trademark top 10s or spicy takes on the industry, all done from a hardcore gaming perspective. Introducing the creating host of the DreamcastGuy YouTube channel and a panelist on the Spawncast, the owner of the funniest profile pic on Twitter, who always reminds us to keep dreaming. Live from Texas and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Dreamcast Guy. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Happy to be back. We've been trying to do this forever. There's been so many times we all said great topics, and I've tried to be here. I finally had a Sunday off. I appreciate the invite, guys. Really happy to be back.
So it's good to have you back, man. Always appreciate you. Love what you're doing out there, man. Wow. You've been, since you haven't been back on in a while, but you've grown like tremendously. 200K now. You're moving out here, man.
Yes,
how's it going?
Hopefully, we'll see if I get 250 or 300K this year. I'll be happy. We'll see. See if the games keep popping off. Games keep coming out. I can keep having reasons to get off the camera.
I'll be happy with 3 at this point. Let's go 3.
He said 3. No doubt. What you been playing, sir? What you been playing?
I'm super addicted to Risk of Rain right now. I'm so into it. It's a third-person shooter roguelike. So it's one of those games where you start out and you pick a class that'll have like a shotgun or a sword instead of a gun or something. And then as you're playing through it, there'll be random enemies, random bosses, they'll have random strengths and weaknesses, and then you get random strengths. So you'll get like more range to your attacks, faster attack speed, hitting enemies will heal you, or things like killing an enemy, they explode or set off a Molotov cocktail. So these roguelikes, I'm so addicted to genre right now. Like every time you play it, it feels like an hour-long, completely new game built for you. I am so this is like my favorite genre right now. I'm so into them.
I feel like the roguelikes, like I do feel like they're starting to oversaturize the market, but like it's different than it was with like the battle royale, because the majority of these are good. Like,
yeah, true, exactly.
Yeah, and you know, Sovereign put me onto it. I gotta say, Dead Cells started off my addiction.
Yes,
and it turned into something crazy when I get to Neon Abyss, and it just, you know, steamrolls straight from there. So I'm more apt to give a roguelike a look, opposed to just, you know, like glossing over it. So I'll definitely.
It's just that they're all so different. They're all so different. I mean, when you look at Dead Cells, right, and then you look at what Hades did, and then you even look at Returnal. Like Returnal is kind of it's going to be in the same vein, and it's something totally different. So it is one of those genres that seems to meld very well with different art styles. So it doesn't feel like it's like Addict said. There's a lot of them, but I don't feel it's oversaturated because they all seem so different.
Yeah, Star Renegade. It's like I don't like that they got me with that one because, because there isn't a lot of turn-based you know, games like that. And when I saw that, I remember King brought it up because I saw it on the PC one. I was like, I just wait for it to be on console because at this point, I'm still very on my, I ain't messing with PC right now. But at that time, I was definitely ain't messing with PC yet. And then when it showed up on Xbox, like, I think I put like 90 hours in there.
No doubt, man. Good to have DreamcastGuy back in the realm. Big show, so we are going to move on. And of course, we have a Lord who is not only a solid friend to the realm, but with his analysis on gaming, politics, and pop culture, is highly regarded as one of the greatest yet balanced legal minds within our entire gaming community. Introducing the attorney and creator of the Hoeg Law YouTube channel and business law firm, the Lord of Virtual Legality, who proves reasonable minds can differ, especially with his opinions on Jedi Fallen Order and Mass Effect 2 place in history.
Fallen Order get dragged into this.
I saw your video, don't you start.
I see.
The University of Michigan's own, and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Richard Hoeg. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I love your intros. I still do. It's been too long. I haven't been on in a couple months. I haven't heard anybody disparage my Mass Effect 2 take.
Well, here you go, Hoeg. Total respect. Hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you, sir.
Thank you.
The knees.
Why?
The knees for the bet that I lost. What was it? PlayStation 5.
You don't even know the bet itself.
Yes.
I'll take that. Here you go. You got both knees. They're yours. All right. So there you go.
So now what I'm going to do is the next time we have a bend the knee, it doesn't matter who wins. I'm clipping that and saying that was you to me.
Salute the Hoeg for being gracious.
Yeah, he was nice. He didn't even remember. I did. I saw Hoeg was coming on this weekend. I said, get the knees ready.
I mean, I might have remembered.
I wasn't gonna bring it up or anything like that, you know.
No, it's a pleasure to be back. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Do me a favor, Hoeg, turn your level up just a little bit, and what you call solve if we get the super chats before we get in.
Sure. So we have first off, we got Michael, aka Best Size Finance, with the $2 super chat. Good morning, Lords. Hope all is well. Likewise to you, sir. And we have Squirrely Dan with the $5 super chat. What's good, realm? Watch King sweat like a hooker in church. I got 5.
Wow, they ready for that PaquiOneChipChallenge.
Yo, they are ready.
They ready.
King will elaborate upon that in a moment.
I just want to say one thing to Squirrely. After today, Squirrely, you will have to pay to be inside my chats.
Hey, whoa. Split that.
Wow. We ain't splitting this chip. So
yeah, boy, that is today, isn't it? Oh,
then we have 281 Dean with the $5 super chat. Good afternoon, Lord.
Salute. Oh, y'all caught up?
Yes, we're caught up.
No, back to Hoeg real quick.
Yes.
Love seeing the growth, man. I love how you're expanding. You've been killing it with the videos. You've been killing it on all fronts. Love the merch, by the way. I got me a nice little shirt. So, first of all, congratulations on that and the success. And then also, what you been playing?
Absolutely. No, I haven't been playing a ton of video games. We've been doing some backlog stuff, re-going through Death Stranding a little bit, playing some more Immortals, which was one of my top games of last year.
Nice.
And definitely the best game released in December last year. About that.
Okay, that was a shot I must have missed. That was a shot I missed.
Yeah,
what game came out December? Damn, what's the shot he did?
I don't know. There was some other game that was like 14 episodes of virtual legality or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
That other game, yes.
But no, I've mostly been teaching my oldest board games.
Nice.
Getting into an age where she's really enjoying rule sets and strategy and things like that. So we've been working through primarily cooperative games. After this podcast, I've got a set up of Pandemic Legacy ready to go in the kitchen. So we're going to play that.
Nice.
I've been getting people into Marvel Champions, the card game, playing as the heroes that people like.
I'm scared of that game. I want to get it, but I have like a healthy addiction to card games, especially the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
one of my favorite Marvel Champions, one of my favorite card games in a long time.
Oh, I got to stay away. I know it's good now. Oh, man.
I'm not trying to take money out of your bank account.
Bro, it's bad.
I'm just saying it's really, really good.
Between Transformers G1 card games.
Now, Hoeg is in that hole where you want more people to join you. And that's
But these are physical card games or digital card games?
No, digital.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, Marvel Champions is a physical card game.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you're talking? Okay, I thought you was talking about the one on the phone.
Me too.
No, I'm talking about Fantasy Flight games, card game. Everybody gets a hero. Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hawkeye, whoever. You have a villain that you fight. It's a modular deck. You talk about roguelites and things, so it gets changed up every game.
Nice.
You put that together, and then your heroes have synergies, and you try to play through it. And if you're anything like the Hoeg family, you lose 90% of the time. And then I try to convince the people in my household that that's part of the fun.
You dominated.
You got to have that challenge. No, it's cooperative. I'm not. We all lose together.
You see the mental gymnastics of a lawyer. I love the mental gymnastics.
That means that it's his fault that they lost, but we're a team.
My wife was carrying me yesterday with Iron Man. My Doctor Strange was sitting there. I don't know what he was doing, holding up a finger one. I don't know.
Salute. So let's get the super chats, then we keep it moving.
We got Hustle and Motivate with the $3 super chat. Keep up the great work, IOP. No doubt. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
and we got Family, 108 Dragons TV with the $5 super chat. Good afternoon, lords and guests. Always great to start my afternoon with the fam. Work hard, play harder. Facts.
You already know
I gotta say something to Lemon. Lemon, you called me yesterday. I texted you back, and hello. We're the phone tag again.
Salute to Lemon. You already know 108 in the building. What else we got, Soft?
Yeah, we have Gaming Forte with the $5 super chat. Today is a joyous occasion. Everyone pray for King's third hole.
Yo!
I wish you the best, brother. Today the Lord has shined on us all. Remember your milk, bro. Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't drink milk, so you'll definitely figure something else out.
Let me shout out Rob C, who just copped that wall tattoo. He put that Iron Log flag in the wall. Oh, I missed your best. I like that, man. Your boy got the flag. He got the banner of the wall.
So you trying to do that back there, huh?
Yeah, he got that. Salute, man. I told you we give you them shout outs live on stream. You do the merch. We really appreciate it. So I'll continue, sir.
And we have Smitty Smith with the $5 super chat. Hang in there, Lord King. I never want to see you suffer, unlike these other heathens.
Thank you, brother.
That chip will not take you down.
You're definitely on your own there.
Yeah. He even put out the Book of X for him.
Yeah. This is new scripture for the Book of X. The chip will not take you down, sir.
Praying on kings.
Thank you, sir.
There we have Aaron Summers with the £5 super chat. Salute to your favorite podcasters. Love the positivity. Great guests. Great banter. Great way to spend a Sunday. Hit the like and share. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, sir, man. A lot of fun stuff going on today, and you already know we got the 4 Horsemen of Gaming, those original lords of the realm here at the round table with time sensitive because we got 2 guest intros. Time sensitive. My co-host with the girls, my brother from another mother, the typical game conqueror, lord of his own world, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how we doing, sir?
You know, if you listen to my intro, it really seems like I'm a selfish a-hole. Like, just listen and take that in. And you know what? I'm 100% okay.
Exactly. You own it.
Go ahead and you know.
I was about to say.
Look, I've told you I'm the mayor of the addict world, and you guys ain't invited. So.
It literally says, "I don't care" when the podcast starts in your picture.
that is literally your moniker, sir.
Yo, you got to read that one from 108 Dragons.
All right, get 108.
We got 108 Dragons with the $5 super chat. Shout out to King calling at 4 a.m. This is the Vampire Podcast. Most of y'all work at night.
You're right.
Yeah. You know you was gonna get that phone call 4 a.m. because that's the time I'm up.
Yeah, that's normal for King.
Normal.
Then we have Drunken Ninja with the $5 super chat. Happy Sunday, y'all. Shout out to the Destiny Clan for holding it down and running through these raids.
Raid today after the show.
No
with
doubt.
The fire throat.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you could, we go.
Nah, I'm going.
We go check on your well-being, sir.
I could use a raid too, but we won't go into that. All right.
Have y'all gotten that weapon yet?
Nope, not me.
No.
Man.
No. We don't talk about that though, because people in this community. You ain't timing this. People in this community, they like tag me every time one of their friends get one.
Stitch back from dead. Yeah, they messy.
But I just beat beat the Immortals.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good game, man. Like I think Zelda, because it's Zelda, is a better game. But like what they didn't do in Zelda, they did it in Immortals. Like the temples in Immortals is like crazy good. Like. That's all I want from Breath of the Wild 2 is more of a temple centric and not just we can go everywhere and climb every rock.
Time. It's too much Breath of the Wild slander. And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo game of list for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, the Lord of Clarity and patron of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing well. What's going on, guys?
Chilling.
I'm pretty good.
Smooth.
Yeah.
What's going on,
In
Smooth?
the UFC last night? You saw that?
No, I saw nothing.
I saw it. Domination.
I missed it all, so I will defer to you guys on that.
He dominated so hard that he said, next week if somebody falls out, I'll fight.
Yeah, he was talking to the commentary. It was great. Max Holloway's at that level.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he is. I'm glad that he's back, and I know he had some issues with making weight for a bit, and I'm glad that he's back.
Play anything, sir?
The only thing I got to play a little bit of is kind of because of my excitement for Hitman 3, so I went back into Hitman. Man, that game is so much fun.
It's the essence of you.
This has nothing to do with you, Hoeg, but I blew up a lawyer yesterday with a
He had to put a disclaimer.
I put a disclaimer. I blew up a lawyer with a rubber duck. And it was glorious. Like it was glorious. I hit him with a rubber duck and he flew over like a ledge, and it was nice.
I love where you are right now in Palm Trees.
Yeah, I know, man. I can't go anywhere, so I might as well, like mentally put myself.
He got the UFC shirt on. Is he on Fight Island?
Yeah. He's fighting Omega Brand Amanda.
Stop it.
No,
the Hitman 3 comes out the 20th, so.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm telling you, man, that I love that murder sandbox. Like, there's so much foolishness you can do. It's just, I love it. So I'm excited for 3.
Getting his murder on, and of course we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer, the prophet of Xbox, king of the statues, demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement. Beloved and soon to be the One Chip Challenge, Lord King.
I am doing fantastic. Thank everybody that came out yesterday on Dolph Castle X. My live unboxing Saturdays is a thing. Fridays is the show that we do, 9 p.m. Go ahead, subscribe, follow. And live unboxing Saturdays. So you saw the big ticket item yesterday was this Iron Studios Hulk.
Jesus.
He is immense. I could not have Red Hulk be the biggest Hulk in my house. I made a phone call to my man Christian. Christian came through. He made sure that I got exactly what I needed to dwarf little man over there. So
that's humongous.
Series X.
That's how I look when they be hitting me with those ice grenades on Destiny.
No. It's 110 pounds, something like that. The boxes all together was like 150 pounds, something crazy yesterday. So it was a great, great unboxing.
No doubt.
I unboxed, I think it was 10 statues yesterday. Had the Thundercats line up. Everybody come to saw that. So Iron Man, Wolverine, which is down at the bottom over there, and Iron Patriot, which is up for sale, that Mario is standing on guarding right now.
Okay.
So, you know, that statue is up for $400 at the buy sell trade group. What I've been playing. Destiny did my raids this week. I got one more raid to do, and I want to do all the old raids.
Yeah, we talked about. Yeah, we got to get to the old raids.
We got to do all the old.
These still could be fun with King. I ain't going for it. King be having me laughing. Use your damn super. What you hold on to it for?
Yeah, because people was running around holding these supers like they need it for the boss. You don't need it. Use your super. Stop playing around with me. You're getting on my nerves. We all use.
Yeah, I'll have to literally tell people like, look, if you about to die, pop your super. I'd rather you lose your super than restart this whole encounter.
Yeah, hilarious. It's about timing. There, it's about fun. All right. Also, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I'm in the mix right now. This weekend on Xbox, free weekend or free week or whatever, I'm playing Squadrons. It's more than I thought it was. It's like a flight sim. And each like ship has their own quirks and stuff like that, because TIE fighters don't have any shielding, and you have to be more maneuverable. It turns you into a better pilot than if you're playing with the rebels, because they have shielding, so you can take a hit or whatever. But it's so crazy. I finished Odyssey. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of people finish Odyssey. If you're playing Odyssey, you don't want to hear the ending. Close your ears right now.
What do you mean, Valhalla?
No, Odyssey.
Oh, because you're doing them in order.
No, Valhalla didn't come out. They got the patch for the ray tracing. It didn't come out yet. All right, so when that patch comes out, it came out. But anyway, I played Odyssey. I ended Odyssey, and the first ending that I got, I wasn't satisfied with it. Right. So I was like, "Oh man, are you serious? How this is gonna go down? And my mom's is gonna disown me, you know, because I kicked her off the roof. You know,
Jesus!
So wow, you went that route.
Yeah, I kicked her off the roof because
spoilers, y'all.
That first time I tried to save her, you know, she disrespected me and locked me up and took my clothes off. So I was highly pissed off. So I kicked her off the mountain. Right? Okay. So my mom disowned me. She said, "You said you was gonna bring her back." All right. So I went back and I did what y'all said. I saved before the last encounter. Right?
Nice.
So all right. So I'm able to go back in. So I go back in, and I still lose both of them. I said, man, to hell with this game. It's still a sad ending. I'm sitting there with a tear in my eye. My son is sitting there like, Daddy, he lost both of them. So I know I'm pulling time on myself, but that's what I've been playing. I have other stuff, but Game Pass is it.
You know what's funny? That's like the mentality I always have with XCOM. You try to do a really difficult scenario, and you can't get through without at least losing 1 or 2 people, and you get so annoyed. You're like, that's good enough. Let's just go.
That's it. No doubt. No doubt. Soft super chat.
Who do we have?
Then let's get to it.
We have Lord of Empires, Death Singer with the £5 super chat. Salute to the lords and guests, all love in the realm. What weapon could that be? Because I may have it.
Listen, you messy, yo. The ones who got Stitch and Death Singer and Baphomet, they messy, man. Salute to y'all.
I'm gonna start blocking people.
And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito. Spread that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. Salute the Gaming Times Patrick.
Gaming Times Patrick with the $5 super chat. Keep up the great works.
ILP, salute. You already know. Last word with Ebontis was lit. We have my man, the IRL Titan. He was in the building, man. Yo, super fun. If you into your bodybuilding, your fitness as a gamer, he's cool. He's hilarious. We talked about what's going on in the state of the game. Check that out. It's on Iron Law Podcast on the YouTube. And then, yeah, man, I've been raiding with my brothers. You already know.
Did we tell the people that don't know that today is the Hot Chip Challenge Day?
Yes, we did. I had promoted it. And
no, I'm talking about like the people that's there, because I didn't say it during my segment. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so Squirrely Dan, the snitch, got me to take this Hot Chip Challenge. So after we finish with the show, so you're gonna have to stick through to the end.
Yes.
And you know, if I guess want to sit around and watch me sweat and almost die, this chip is going down today. All right, and I don't drink milk, so it might be even funnier than what you're
Are you going to try to do the 5-minute thing?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the chip challenge. So I want everybody to set they watch time.
I will
for the 5 minutes. And we're gonna see if I can make it. If I can make this 5 minutes on God and them, it's over.
Make sure you handle it with gloves. That's
You saw the gloves right here.
Okay.
What you do is you gotta handle it with gloves.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want that touching anything else but accidentally.
Yeah, you rub your eyes by mistake.
Oh my God.
So again, Lord, stay tuned to the end of the show because that is what it is.
Yeah, if you don't like me, for all you do is putting them thumbs down in the chat. Both you two dudes and the other dudes that's on the fence right now, y'all didn't check in right now. If you want to see me sweat and almost die, today is your day. You might turn that
pretty much the entire TCL community could tune in because they don't like it.
The community manager up here, man.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Super chats, then I'll finish.
Yeah, no doubt. The Living Flame with the $5 super chat. Hear ye, hear ye. The medium is in 11 days.
Yes.
Finally, an interesting horror game after such a long drought. Happy Sunday, Lords. I'm praying for games.
Yes, we all are. We all are.
And then we have Squirrely Dad with the $2 super chat. We hurt you because we love you, King.
That's why you always get those order protections. I'm going to go home. Yeah. I need an order of protection for Squirrely Dad.
Okay, we get orders of protection from you. Is that possible from Hoeg Law?
Anyway. I'm sorry, I don't handle that service.
Yo, I have someone I can refer you to. Though.
Thank you. You know a guy that knows a guy. I need a guy.
Know the guy. More super chats. So
yeah, we have Webhead420 with the $10 super chat. Happy Sunday to the Lords and guests. This is the most uplifting podcast on the web. Please keep up the positivity. P.S. King slanders TCL so much I had to upgrade my TV to a Samsung. Well done, sir.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. TCLs in the bushes.
We have Black Ronin with the $5 super chat. You better have milk on hand. I did that challenge and it's no joke. One bite, chew, and swallow. Best route, King. Pause.
That's it. Yeah, I got you.
You
help it out.
You know what the worst part is, King? Like when you first take it for like 30 seconds, this ain't nothing.
Yeah, we gonna see.
We gonna figure it out.
We gonna see. But look, man. So that's been that for me.
We good.
I beat Pearl the Gargoyle. Did all the endings from Outer Worlds on that great DLC. Hellblade finally got it done on my backlog. I started on PlayStation, but I never finished it. And then I said, you know what? Let me just start over on Series X and just run it through. Tremendous. I have to give it up. Dizzy's in the chat. You'll be proud. Yeah, like them with a small budget, what they were able to do, transformative. The way they done psychological horror was amazing. Illusions. My only nitpick, I felt the puzzles overstayed their welcome a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying? But the game is tremendous. Like I cannot wait to see them with a budget. It's gonna be crazy. Get Big Cloud, then we move on.
We have Big Cloud with the $5 super chat. Get my boy King David the heart-shaped ERB. LOL. Wakanda forever. Hit that like button.
My man, Big Cloud. Salute PlayStation Nation in the building. 2 announcements real quick. Yo, everybody, man. The Nintendo guru, Bobby. We've had him on ILP before. He's going through. He just went through some COVID situation and his health and medical bills. So please, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, man. If you want to donate anything, good guy. Community loves him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So please, he's been suffering through it. I put the link in there if you want to donate to his family and stuff. Again, the bills are really piling up. He has some.
Shout out to everyone who's donated because they set a goal and the community blew by.
Anyone said if you want to just say your love, Nintendo Guru Bobby's a good guy. So salute to him. Also, hit up Lord Clowns, y'all. He's going through it too, man. Hit up Lord Clowns, check on him, see how he's doing. You know, a lot of our friends in the community, you know, these are gaming brothers. Please check on them, make sure they're okay. And then let me see. Alex said PSX final super chat. I saw Kid Smooth do this challenge. Be careful, sad face. Okay, we got it. So look, real quick, this is a quick thing for Hoeg and DreamcastGuy because both of you have not been on in so long, and I need this answer real quick before we get to topics, which is top 5s. I never got your top 5 video games or franchises of all time, DreamcastGuy.
Ooh, me? Okay, then I'd say
Resident Evil's gonna be one of them.
Yeah, Final Fantasy number 1, Resident Evil number 2. Put Grandia as number 3, Legend of Zelda as number 4.
What's Zelda? What's Zelda?
Lord, here we go.
I think a lot of Zeldas. I think I like a lot of Zeldas in a lot of different ways. But the more now that I'm doing a replay of Breath of the Wild, that's part of why I'm doing it. I think Breath of the Wild might be my favorite Zelda of all time.
Tell him again. Tell him why. Tell him why so he can understand.
Okay. What's your least favorite?
My least favorite Zelda? You're not gonna like it. Spirit Tracks. I hate Spirit Tracks.
He thought it was gonna be Scarlet Son. He thought it was gonna be Scarlet. You're good.
Attic was trying to
lure the witness. You see, trying to lure the witness. I like that, Attic. That was smooth.
I like some of the more hated Zeldas though. Like I actually genuinely enjoy Phantom Hourglass and stuff. But let's see. What's
CDI
my
Zelda is the answer to this question, right?
True. All right, fifth favorite series. I'd put Gears of War. I know that's not as talked about, but you don't see it, but in my background, I collect every version of every Gears of War. So I have every collector's edition. I have the reprint trilogy they did, and then each of the standard editions for all the games. Because I even have all the Gears of War books. I read the Gears of War comics. The lore of Gears of War is something that nobody talks about. Like, the shooting is great. It feels perfect to shotgun somebody into freaking confetti. But I've always kind of respected the fact that there is this interesting alternate history of an alternate world. Like, it's humans that live on a planet that has 26 hours days and is stuck in a 20-year war. I don't know. I think that's something it's not respected and talked about enough.
Hold on 1 second. Sav, I need you to read slow-mo sound.
No, I need you to read that.
Sav, I need you to...
I have a frog in my throat. Sorry.
All right, I guess I have to read it since he doesn't want to read it. Oh, slow-mo, the great slow-mo backslap from the DPS. Subscribe to the channels. DPS podcast, y'all. Slow-mo. Only when he agrees with me, I promote them. This is a weekly reminder that Mass Effect 2 is the best Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 aged like dust in a pyramid. Mass Effect 3's ending was 3 colors of trash. And Andromeda doesn't even deserve to be called Mass Effect. So with that being said, Hoeg Law, what's your top 5?
Well, it's not the Mass Effect series, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Games or franchises or what?
You can do games or franchises.
You don't say Mass Effect. Oh my! All this capping, and you don't say Mass Effect.
No. He's different. The Hoeg's different. I'll let him explain himself though.
No, I mean, my top 5 games are some combination. They change in order depending on my feeling and what year we're talking about it. In Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger.
Thank you.
Wait. Say the second one. That's a big one too.
Chrono Trigger.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's trying to divert that he said.
Yeah, I try to ignore that you said that filth.
Yeah.
But continue.
Wait, which one was filth? 6?
No,
Apparently 7 is better than 6.
I love 7. I love 7.
Both are good.
7
But
is,
it's not. It's
7's
perfect
not
game.
as good as 6.
Thank you.
Which one did Square remake first?
Thank you.
Well,
it's all good. It's his choice. He could be
anyway.
wrong.
They remade the broken one first. That's why.
Oh my God! Let the man talk.
This is good stuff. I'll just start throwing games out there like grenades. And
Yeah, that's literally what's happening.
It's good. Yeah, well, you know, it's a danger time to say this, but Witcher 3 is on my top 5. 100% it is.
Yes, it is.
Fallen out of favor, that company, a little bit in the last couple of months. Star Control 2 has been my top game of all time for forever.
Yes.
And I don't know how many people know it. But that, Star Control 2, Star Control 3, less so. Starflight. There was an era of 80s and 90s PC games that were really invested in that kind of strange new worlds, go and find your own story, really open world sandboxy role-playing in an era when it wasn't possible. And as certainly a young man, that was something that was really exciting to me. Star Control 2 stuck in there, just pitch perfect storytelling that's actually been borrowed across a lot of games that I think your viewers would be more familiar with as we press on to 2021 or whatever year Star Control 2 came out. But it's some combination of those. You know, more recently, I think if Insomniac gets a couple more cracks, that Spider-Man franchise is probably going to go up there.
King's loving you now.
I really enjoy those. I've gone back to the original Spider-Man now 3 times. So that's a lot of fun.
Right? Not the DLC, right?
When you say DLC, you mean Miles?
Shots fired!
Oh,
Jesus.
ready for the smoke.
Is ready for the smoke today.
I really like Miles. Miles was on my top 10 of last year, but it was
I
short.
loved it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic. I'm not saying it's not a fantastic game. I'm just saying it's hot DLC. It's good.
It's hot,
fresh.
You and Hoeg share this.
It's a great appetizer.
I love it. I love Spider-Man 2018. I've gone back to that a couple times. I'm not too enthused about new Peter Parker, but whatever.
God, thank you.
But yeah, and then I think some Zelda. Mine would probably be Ocarina.
Okay.
That goes up there. And then what do you do with the Metal Gears of the world? I don't know. But you could tell from my list that I like storytelling and narrative in games and driving what you're doing as part of the game, and that doesn't happen as much as I would like in
No,
the
you're
video
right.
industry.
No, you're absolutely right. And second part of the question that both of you missed, Dreamcast guy. I'm gonna pass over this because
I gotta hear.
I should already know what his favorite console of all time is.
Yeah, we can skip this.
But I just need him to reiterate.
We need it on record.
Oh yeah, absolutely the Dreamcast. Actually, I'll tell you guys, I have a secret video coming up here in the next 10 days that I've been working on for about 6 months. I'm gonna put up on my channel. I have built the world's best Dreamcast. I have it being sent back from an engineer now. I remade every single part of it. Custom case, custom controller. It has HD output. I put in a solid state drive so there'll never be load times. It has every single Dreamcast game ever made on it. I've got a hacked broadband adapter so I can play the games online again.
Are the servers still up for some of the games?
It's like I'll be contacting you, sir.
I literally built it. Almost total this Dreamcast cost me about $800, and that's why I want to make a big video called "I Built the World's Best Dreamcast." So that's my secret thing I've been working on for months.
Look forward to my DM, sir.
Yeah, everyone will be hitting you up very shortly.
Have you played any of the the games that have come out recently for Dreamcast? Like
I have, Rush Rally Racing, and I've Pierce Solar, and the Great Architects. I get all the later ones. They're so good. In fact, I'm lucky enough that sometimes people will send me the prototype. So I have some of the they'll send me the game before they're done. So I've played stuff like Rizzo's Island and stuff. I get a chance to play the new Dreamcast games. They're still so good. It's crazy. What some people don't realize is that the Dreamcast ran on what was called Windows CE.
Yes.
So basically it was the easiest thing to make a game for, except for the original Xbox. The original Xbox was even easier than that, but a lot of like homebrew people who want to experiment, they still make Dreamcast games to this day.
That's awesome. I had no idea, dude. I cannot wait. Let us know when that video comes. We got to promote it.
I will.
That's awesome, man. Lord Hoeg, this is a good one for you. Favorite console of all time? I'm very curious.
Sure. So I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to cheat. But before I do, I think my answer ultimately would be the Super Nintendo. I think that's a lot of really big winning games there. But I want to go a different direction for kind of dark horse stuff. One of the things that I really, really love that's gone now, basically, was an era of full motion video games that had terrible acting and green screens. And I'm talking about Sewer Shark,
Night Trap,
and EA and Double Switch.
Oh my god!
Things that were on basically when the CD was being pushed as the prominent video game store. So there's a combined console there that was in my house between the CDI, the 3DO, the TurboGrafx CD, the Sega CD, and those games that had you fighting in B movies against ants that attacked from the desert, and going through and trying to make your fortune, killing things in the sewer, and everything in between. That was a special time that sticks out as a moment in history.
Yes.
Because we see a little of it coming back with Kickstarters and things, and doing remakes and high definition versions of Night Trap or Shock, Consulting Detective, or all these things that I worked on back when I was, a younger person. So I think that's my favorite console that nobody really talks about, which of course is like 5 consoles. But that's why my real answer is Super Nintendo if you want on the record. But otherwise, I miss full motion video. I really like that, and I like the cheesiness.
Salute to you. What an era it was, because it almost felt like they were experimenting. They didn't know what necessarily to do with the tech initially. With just outside of better audio, right? And then the full motion wave just started, and like you said, it just all these B-level movies.
I like how that was the selling point that you used for your parents.
Yes.
We used
like
for
a movie.
Mama Cognito, we used Sherlock Holmes to get her.
Yeah, that's how my
Consulting Detective.
Yes, my mom sat there and watched me play a video game for the first time. She was like,
when they were reimagining things like Isaac Asimov stories, and I remember really weird ones, Daedalus Encounter, and they did Rendezvous with Rama as a kind of Myst-alike with full motion video transition, and there was all this fun stuff. That breadth of the game industry I kind of miss a little bit, because it just, I guess, was a little bit cheaper, a little fewer resources to get something out the door. You needed a few less people to buy it than you do nowadays. But that I miss that. I remember Privateer 2,
oh my God,
which was a spin-off of the Wing Commander series.
I loved Wing Commander.
You would go to these space bases,
yes, it was awful.
and you had to make your way in the universe, and then there'd be like movies.
Yep.
Every starbase that you'd land at.
Yes.
And I remember just being captivated by that when I was younger. 'Cause that was just awesome. That was everything I wanted. And of course, you had from that Privateer and Wing Commander.
Right.
You had the director, showrunner of those games, then have a $250 million grift for the entirety of the early 21st century.
Dang, true though.
True though. Shout out to those players, man. 3DO
Hey,
Interactive.
that game will come out one day, maybe, but you're gonna have to give him less money because right now it's more lucrative to not come out. People.
Yes. Dreamcast guy, you have something to say. I see you post about
I wanted to show you. So I have every version of the Sega CD because I think it's
go.
cool. I have the top loader, or the sides one, and the underloader. And then Sega randomly reached out to me when I was doing my review of when I did the Genesis Mini, when they came out with the Genesis Mini plug and play.
Nice.
So they gave me this weird, it is a micro replica that was never sold in stores of a micro Sega 32X. There's a little Sonic and Knuckles, but on the bottom there's even a tiny little Sega CD.
That's awesome.
And what makes me really laugh is that you have to do it appropriately. It actually has the thing where you pop off the bottom and you plug it into the fake expansion port. It's like, this is and Sega just was like, there you go, Dreamcast guy, do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yo, that's awesome, bro.
No, I remember having that, and I remember thinking that form factor is wild when you got them all stacked up.
It feels great.
You add like a Sonic and Knuckles on top of it. You get it really hot.
Oh yeah, the other game, the Sonic and Knuckles, and then you put the game on top.
And then the Game Shark. The first YouTube videos I ever saw, this is certainly true, is I saw a guy who had a Sega Nomad, and he was sitting in this like Lamborghini, and he had a Sega Nomad plugged into the audio of the freaking Lamborghini, and he had like 5 stacked on top, and he said, "This is what wealth is, nerds." I was like, "This is what YouTube is."
Oh my god! Salute to Sega, man. Those are some days. Man. We can tough out. We gotta move over, man. You guys are bringing it today. Great history, great top 5s, great consoles. Loving this talk. You know we love this stuff. We can talk all day. Poll results. Last week poll results are in. The people have spoken to the question: which what if gaming scenario would have been the most impactful on the gaming industry in an alternate reality? The winner of the 4-way ILP poll with 67% of the vote was Microsoft purchasing Nintendo during the OG Xbox era. Coming in at second place at 22% of the vote was Sony and Nintendo combining forces to actually create the PlayStation Group. Coming in at third place at 6% of the vote was the super secret Sega and Sony CD console talks. And at last place with 4% of the vote was, I don't care, Activision or EA needs to buy WB Games Group. Shout out to all those who voted.
People voted for that one?
We got 4%. We did get some votes. People wanted Activision to do this. So, EA to do this. So anyway, it is what it is. Lord King, you're the victor here. Any happiness in a Nintendo and Microsoft future? Where Nintendo does Microsoft does the hardware.
Aaron, please look at the poll, run it up the flagpole, make sure that Phil Dominus Maximus really is Spencer. Here's this, and hopefully Nintendo hits their head on a brick with this next console that we can just swoop in and purchase them like we're going to do Projekt CD-Red. Let's go.
No doubt.
That's the kind of purchase that does get the regulators to look twice.
Yes.
That is a monopoly.
Absolutely. Look at Smokey.
Just so we're clear, that's the one where they say, you know what, you do have to send us your financial documents.
So, Super Chat before we start.
We have Andy Crawley with the $5 Super Chat. Hey, Lords, get the extinguisher ready for Lord David. Please don't rub your eyes after. Yes, please don't do that. Have an ambulance there. Gaming Forte with the $5 Super Chat. Hoeg, you disappoint me. I thought you were an internet lawyer I can trust. Mass Effect 2 is GOAT. Your eviction notice from Michigan.
Oh! He's taking Michigan status from him.
All right, so let me tell you something about LordCognito here.
Uh-oh.
So I've interacted with him now for a couple of years. He's been great. I've loved coming on this show.
Yes.
Ever since he found out that Mass Effect 2 was my least favorite Mass Effect, yes, that we can talk about that if you want. He has made it his mission to make sure every corner of the internet knows that about me. Someday, if the Hoeg Law YouTube channel and virtual legality just takes off, there's going to be one person in the comments just saying, "Did you know this guy hates Mass Effect 2?" And it's going to be LordCognito.
That's the right Hoeg. You're on the right side of history. You don't worry about that.
I want that to be his claim to fame.
You're going to get canceled for this. This clip is going to come up in 6 years. You're going to hit 1 million subscribers, and people are going to go, "I have some allegations about Mass Effect to talk about."
Look how emotional Gabe, a fellow Michiganer. Look how emotional he is.
Hey, as I've always said here, if you love something, love something. I'm not here to take away somebody liking something. That is great.
Shoot it.
If your game that you love happens to end fighting a giant robotic skeleton, no purpose. Between two games that actually advance the plot, that's up to you.
Listen, YouTube, we're gonna do that when the trilogy comes out. We're gonna do that debate show. Solve Hoeg, you guys on the Mass Effect one side. We'll bring you back.
I'm looking forward to playing it again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we know why it's being held up because the technical issues of Mass Effect 1.
Great action game, by the way.
It's being held up to fix Mass Effect 1. Is that what you said?
Yes. All right, Tom, we got to move again. This is the ball. This was the ball.
Dreamcast guy here. We don't get him that much. Let's go.
All right, look. Let's get it, man. Solve, you're up. A lot going on, man. What's going on, Bethesda? What's happening?
Yeah, it's been an eventful week. So on Monday we got an announcement from Disney that they were sort of putting all of the Lucas properties under a single umbrella like they used to back in the day. Everybody remember LucasArts? Now we have LucasfilmGames, which will sort of cover all of the Star Wars properties. Obviously, Indiana Jones we'll talk about in a second, and everything else that was under LucasArts before. So all the Sam and Max games, all of the, Day of the Tentacle, all of that crazy stuff. No, not Day of the Tentacle. That's something else. But is it okay? Yeah. Okay.
You good?
So it's kind of bonkers that this is happening because it kind of didn't make a lot of sense. They would just do this because whatever they own these properties. They didn't necessarily have to put them under the same umbrella.
Right.
So when this happened Monday, I said, okay, I think we're going to start seeing an influx of announcements coming in. But what I did not expect was the announcement that came in Tuesday, which was Bethesda coming out and announcing that Machine Games is going to be making an Indiana Jones game under the LucasfilmGames banner. And that, I tell you, it blew me away because I said, yeah. I mean, it's a combination that I didn't know I wanted. But when you think about the Nazi stuff that they're very good at doing.
Specialists.
Yeah, they're specialists at murdering Nazis.
At murdering and hate groups.
I see no better combination. And it's just, to me, I'm glad that now they basically, everything that's under LucasArts, Lucasfilms now is kind of free to go where they decide they want to put it. And that is fantastic to me. And I think this in particular was interesting to me because of the Microsoft involvement. When they sat down to talk with ZeniMax about, acquiring them, obviously, I guess, and Hoeg could elaborate on this. Sure. This is something you have to put all your cards on the table, right? You have to, if you're going to get in bed with one another, everybody has to be honest about what's going on in the background, what things they have in the works. So it seems obvious to me that this is a deal that was made way back. And Microsoft was well aware that this was coming down the pipeline. And if you think about where Microsoft is somewhat lacking, it kind of makes sense that they were even more interested, to me, this is my opinion, that they were more interested in this stuff that they had in the pipeline, even more so than, the next game from the Dishonored team or the next Wolfenstein, right? Those are great. Those are fantastic to have in your stable. But this is the sort of stuff I think that once they saw it, they said, this is something that can get us on the mainstream without necessarily, and it's going to be encompassed within Game Pass, right? So one thing I think about is, I don't know that this is going to be exclusive to Xbox. I actually don't think it is, because I don't think that Lucasfilms would want that to happen. I would say they want the games everywhere. That said, the Xbox involvement probably means that it's day and date Game Pass. I think that is money that Microsoft will put out there to make sure that happens. So this is very interesting to me. Obviously, we have more announcements that Alex will talk about with the Star Wars stuff. But what do you guys think in regards to Microsoft's involvement in this and what it means for Game Pass, what it means for the Indiana Jones franchise coming back to sort of to a generation that hasn't really seen Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's start with DreamcastGuy first, then we'll get Hoeg on the legal side.
Okay, so confession, I've never watched an Indiana Jones movie.
Sacrilege.
I don't know. I know that
they're quite good.
Oh my
Sean Connery is in
wait,
one of them.
fraud alert on DreamcastGuy?
Yeah.
No, DreamcastGuy. No, please say it ain't true.
Sorry,
True.
I'm sorry. I mean, I will swear in front of the lawyer. Yeah, I kind of know what. I mean, I know the major beats because of the memes. I know that there's that chest, and they open it up, and all the Nazi faces melt, and it looks awesome and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to keep it that way. I kind of want to stay in the dark and play the games with a blank slate whenever they come out in 3 or 4 years or whatever.
That makes
Because
sense.
to me, I'll be able to go in with no bias. I never watched
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know there's like the Young Indiana Jones TV show and stuff. I kind of want to go in and see what it turns into. I kind of curious. I had heard a rumor a couple of years ago that Microsoft had said we needed Uncharted. That was an actual phrase that was said inside of Microsoft in a meeting.
Right.
Was we need an Uncharted. And I think what they always meant by that is that we need to have an action adventure set piece that's just a 10-hour adventure. Interactive movie, and I think that that's what this is for them. I think they're finally going to have their own show.
Let me ask you a question, right? When they said that, because I remember when they said that, and that's around the time they had got that exclusive deal for, I think, the
Tomb Raider,
month for the Tomb Raider, right? Because they followed it right after that, and people were in uproar thinking that they purchased Tomb Raider when it came out. It was like a 6 to whatever month.
It was a year.
It was 12 year exclusive.
Right. Yeah, exclusive. Do you think this was always in their plans because they looked at the level of success from the Tomb Raider and looked at the level of success from the Uncharted? Because I love Uncharted on PlayStation. And once, like Sovereign said, they saw Bethesda working with that game in the background, and Machine Games actually has all the research to doing a alternate reality Nazi game with Indiana Jones and a story-driven thing. Do you think that was the catalyst for Microsoft to actually, try to, obtain ZeniMax? Because, I mean, just to see those games in the background and to have that original vision of having a game of that story narrative, type of.
I think it was half on purpose and half a happy accident. I think that they were probably, this Bethesda deal was probably years in the making. And what you always hear is that these companies are always working on like 20 different tiny prototypes that aren't ever going to get I mean, we've heard about canceled Final Fantasies, and there was the Resident Evil that was supposed to be on Game Boy Color. There's constantly tiny experiments, and there was probably some sort of like, little style of Uncharted prototype. And then when Microsoft was acquiring them and they got permission to look at all their secret stuff, that's when they're probably like, okay, we can put a whip in his hand. We can make this on Indiana Jones. I think it was a happy accident. I'm curious what it ends up being. I mean, I hope it's not first person. I love Machine Games. I think they make amazing Nazi murdering first person shooters. Indiana Jones first person seems like it would suck.
It seems like a waste. To be a third person game.
I was going to ask, have they made anything outside of first person?
That's a good question.
Not really.
I have no idea.
I always worry about that transition. You get a little bit of technical issues. Well, you're seeing one writ large right now when third person CDPR moves over to first person. You bring some hassle. Talking about Jedi Fallen Order, as I know LordCognito did earlier, I think it has a lot of good ideas, but clearly has some jankiness in its hitboxes and things that come from a company that had made first-person shooters exclusively.
I would say one thing to like combat that one thought, right?
Sure.
We saw the team that makes Resistance, and they switched over and made Horizon, and I mean
Killzone.
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 Guerrilla.
Sucker Punch with what you call it too.
Yeah, and I thought they handled it so phenomenally.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that the first person shooter people already know the dynamic world, and they've probably been experimenting with the third person, and they just like cut it out and just went first person only. I think they actually have a grip on it. Just saying from Horizon's perspective, because it came out so polished and so good.
It did.
didn't expect it from a first-person, shooter company.
I agree. No, I agree with you completely. My question would be: is that the exception that proves the rule?
Right.
There aren't a ton of examples of that, in my opinion.
Right.
And just to talk on this issue a little bit. I mean, we could talk about contracts.
Yeah, I want to get your thoughts on the announcement, and obviously the scuttlebutt is, can this potentially be an exclusive for Microsoft?
Sure.
A lot of people, it's kind of split. I would say actually more people probably leaning not, but
I think it is.
Okay, but it's a split. But what you think?
So Bethesda, separate third-party publisher, enters into an agreement with Disney / Lucasfilm Games a year ago, 18 months ago, whenever it happens. They license the Indiana Jones property, say we're going to make this game. They promise to deliver it on a certain amount of platforms. Those platforms will be listed on the contract when it's entered into a year and a half ago. That is not to Sony's benefit. Sony can't go and enforce that. That is between Disney and Bethesda.
Right.
Then Bethesda gets approached by Microsoft sometime 12 months ago. Generally speaking, what they announced it in the fall, it was probably being thought about for the better part of a year, I would say.
Okay.
And they get, as you've said, they get to see all those documents. They would have been under NDA. The various third parties would have had to have worked together to make sure that they could see everything they wanted to see. And that agreement would have bound Bethesda to probably delivering on Xbox and PlayStation and maybe a cloud version or a port on the Switch. It depends on what the contract says.
Right.
Right. Then Microsoft swoops in and says, we're going to buy you. And maybe they renegotiate that contract and say, well, we want this to be exclusive. And then they talk to Disney and Lucasfilm. The question is, how does Disney and Lucasfilm feel about that? And ordinarily, I'd say, well, they don't want exclusives, right? This is their brand. It's probably aimed to now release somewhat close to Indiana Jones 5, the movie. That's probably how these companies operate.
Yeah.
They want it out as much as possible and everywhere. But maybe not. If you go and you look at Marvel, which is obviously not Lucasfilm, as anybody can tell when you look at the MCU and the Star Wars movies, Marvel has elected to have single exclusive games, most prominently the Spider-Man franchise.
Right.
And so there is a certain amount of comfort in institutional Disney with the notion that that could still be okay.
Right.
But you see, even from Marvel, Avengers goes out to Crystal Dynamics. It's launched broadly. That was probably supposed to launch against Endgame, would be my guess.
Right.
Didn't happen, obviously. And so you have a kind of mismatch of contracts. I would say that Indiana Jones Project X is very likely to still come out broadly.
Right.
Probably because it doesn't make sense to try to pay off that contract or to get out of it. Also because effectively a successful Indiana Jones 1 sells Indiana Jones 2, which is where I would say it would be exclusive. And so I think you can see that kind of thought process probably happening. I'm not guaranteeing it because it could go either direction.
Okay.
In terms of the question of whether this drove them to buy them, I have to say pretty unequivocally no.
Okay.
A single project years out on a franchise that really wasn't all that successful in Crystal Skull, that is not Star Wars. Indiana Jones is great. I love Indiana Jones. Isn't Star Wars in and of itself. From a company with an unproven track record in making what we all assume will have to be a third-person, over-the-shoulder type adventure game.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's likely to be a success. Maybe they have the skills. We think they can do it, but it's not a guarantee.
Right.
When you are spending $7.5 billion, the chances of a moderately successful AAA Indiana Jones game 4 years down the line is not even moving the needle on the evaluation of that particular acquisition. In my opinion, they still were trying to move into RPGs, which they thought was something that they could kind of capture.
Bonus.
With Bethesda. And they go in, they get the NDAs, and they say, oh, you've already negotiated stuff with Disney.
Right.
That might be good. The Indiana Jones game might be good. Also, we like to have more little people talking to Disney. Disney's a fairly large media company, as we all know. And so that doesn't hurt this deal at all. It's a little sweetener, but it didn't drive it, in my opinion.
Okay.
I got you. I actually want to ask you a question. And this is in reference to what you mentioned with Microsoft swooping in after that relationship seemed to be possibly already established with
Lucasfilm. It seemed like it would have been already set up.
Have you seen scenarios where companies would amend that language and, based on, again, what your experience, like, would it be something very exorbitant based on the property? Like, hey, you guys were Indiana, you're going to have to, Microsoft's going to have to, cough up or whatever. Or like, have you seen that scenario where it's been edited to say, hey, we do want this after the fact?
It depends so much on the personalities and the leverage and what they're trying to accomplish. So you look at it from Disney's perspective, they enter into that contract. It's effectively, yeah, they want to make revenue. They're going to make royalties off the sale, but they wanted to advertise Indiana Jones, right? Lucasfilm has had some floundering in terms of lowering of profitability over a couple of years. They're doing this to try to get into games, which are very popular, and coronavirus only showed them to be even more so. And so it's marketing, and they want it to get out there. Microsoft comes in. How does Disney feel about Microsoft? Probably they're two big giants. They're all going to be business savvy, and they want to get together, and it's all going to be great. And if Microsoft really wants it exclusive, they would entertain that conversation. But I've certainly seen instances in my career where they've got an acquirer of somebody that you were okay with, like a Bethesda, and you just hate them. If Disney just hated Microsoft, and I don't have any reason to believe this is the case. In fact, I think it is likely not. But if they just hated them, they say, nah, we ain't changing our contract. You want to buy them, that's up to you. It's going everywhere, and you can fund it or whatever, but that's the contract they entered into. And if you don't deliver on that contract, well, we have our own breach claims we can bring against you. Thank you for calling. Otherwise, yeah, chances are they're going to get to a table, and if Microsoft really wants it to be exclusive, they say, well, what do you want for it? Is there something we can do in a different capacity? Can we give you just a bunch of Surface Pros? Can we just well,
I gotta be Surface Pros.
You know, that's what they did with GameStop, right? Have some Surfaces. It's all good, and so that could happen.
Oh my
God! It's really up to the parties involved, and basically the one thing I would have everybody take away is any agreement can be amended by the parties that are to that agreement. It just depends on how everybody's feeling, and once it's signed up and you have to go ask for something from somebody else, it depends on how they feel about their own situation.
So in the scenario where they decide that they want it everywhere and they don't want to give up that exclusivity, does Microsoft still have the ability? Well, do you think Microsoft would be willing to pay whatever amount of money necessary to at least have it day one in Game Pass?
Well, I mean, so that's the other component, right? So Bethesda never would have had a service to go with this. And it really depends on what that agreement looks like. This is a big one. This is Disney, a big media company with a big license going out to another big company. So it's going to be a pretty well-drafted, long license agreement. And it's going to have restrictions on it. You will only sell it in premium storefronts for the first 6 months before even thinking about PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or whatever. That might not be in there, but it might be. Because in terms of us collecting our royalties, where we make money on this, if we are Disney, we have very specific accountants and bean counters looking at things in very specific ways, and we don't want you to go in a really weird direction that we don't all agree on. Chances are it's got a broad prescription on how this thing will be sold when it is finished, and knowing Disney gets a consent right. They get to sign off on whatever you want to do with it. And Microsoft can make things worth their while. The question is whether they want to. And again, I look at it and saying Indiana Jones is exciting. I love it. I'm a kid of the 80s. I don't actually think it's driving that much for the current market. This is the sweetener. The next story we're going to talk about is the apocalypse.
Okay. Fair enough. So I'm going to get the super chats and then we get at it.
Hold on a second. We have Lord Roughness with the £5 super chat.
Lord Roughness. Yo, please add me on Xbox. King David OTW. Please add me.
I beg to differ with those that say they can't see the Indiana Jones game being an Xbox exclusive. Bethesda announced this game on Phil's birthday.
Thank you so much. I'm going in on this one.
Okay.
Then we have the Lexecutioner with the $20 super chat. My prediction is that the Indiana Jones, prediction is that Indiana Jones will be exclusive. Disney Marvel granted Sony a license to create a Spider-Man PlayStation exclusive, so there's no reason Disney Lucasfilm would not grant a similar deal to Microsoft.
Interesting.
They'd have to buy it. I mean, so when you think about a contract, you're getting certain things. You get the license to Indiana Jones. That costs a certain amount of royalty. You get a territory to sell it in. That costs a certain amount of royalty or upfront payment. You get it exclusive rather than non-exclusive. That costs a certain amount of money. That was the negotiation that happened at the front end between Bethesda and Lucasfilm. Bethesda doesn't care because they're selling it into every console. So I can't imagine they would have asked for any specific console exclusivity. So Microsoft swoops in and has to say, Lucasfilm, we want it exclusive. It's a new agreement, or more specifically, it's an amendment to the existing agreement. And Microsoft can't even negotiate that right now because I know we treat it as a fait accompli. You don't own Bethesda this minute. That's not how these things work. So they have not closed that deal. They have signed the agreement that commits them to paying the $7.5 billion. The assets have not moved Microsoft really doesn't even have the capacity to sign that on Bethesda's behalf right this second.
Gotcha. So we all caught up?
Yeah, we're caught up.
Addict, your thoughts. Bethesda Machine Games, executive produced by Todd Howard.
I think. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Love your background, by the way.
I strongly believe that this is going to be an exclusive,
Ooh.
and the reason, part of me does feel like it could, I want to state that I do feel like it could go 50-50, but there's a couple things that's happening that don't make sense. Like, for instance, like, the Lucas Gaming, or what is it called exactly?
LucasfilmGames.
Yeah.
LucasFilm Games.
This has been around, but they're using it for different purposes now. They want to use it as like, okay, EA royally messed up our Star Wars game vision in the gaming industry, so we're gonna have these people babysit everyone. And I think that's, they probably hired a bunch of people to help, monitor all the IPs that they have. And I don't think this company, to the degree it's around now, has been around long.
Right.
Because now you're starting to see them talk all the time. And you didn't. The only time that Lucas, because I looked, the only time that Twitter even tweeted was when like a Star Wars Battlefront sale was on or something. Like, they were never active, but now they're regularly active. And I think that, I don't think this deal was like a year ago, like people think. I don't think it was relatively soon, but I don't think it was a long time ago. And the reason I think that is because the 10-year deal with Star Wars is about to end. And I think this is when they started looking at all the perspective in the gaming they can do. Right. And that's when they started reaching out to people.
Okay. Well, they said 100%, Lord Addict, that they talked to Ubisoft on the next story we're going to talk about a year ago to start that relationship.
Let me ask you this to kind of, let's say, defend what Attic is saying, but to cast some doubt, which is, I shout out to Jess Cord at Windows Central. He actually put a tweet out like, it's kind of interesting that Sony did not retweet the news. And again, I want to bring it back to you, Hoeg. Like, is there any reason why they wouldn't?
Microsoft could have bought exclusivity. I mean, so I said Microsoft can't sign on behalf of Bethesda, right? But because they still have to get approved by regulators, they have to still get all their ducks in a row. They have to pay their lawyers a fortune to move paper around and accomplish nothing. And once that,
sound jealous.
You sound a little envious there. I agree, DreamcastGuy. Hoeg sound a little jealous about that.
Billable hours and not envious of the transaction at all. I'm a corporate lawyer, so it cuts both ways. It's a weird job, but that still has to get done. Microsoft could tell Bethesda this is going to happen. Make sure that this gets made into an exclusive. I think I can guarantee, give or take. We don't make guarantees in the law for contracts. We can't say. True. But 99.9% of the time, that Bethesda contract with Lucasfilm, when it was originally put together, was not for an exclusive platform. Right. Sony not retweeting it might be because they don't know. They might not have any idea that this was even happening, because Lucasfilm would have talked to Bethesda, not Sony. And Microsoft found out through an acquisition talk, not anywhere else.
Good point.
So Sony might be, this is news to us. We have to go make our calls and figure out whether it's even coming to us. And Bethesda might be like, we have no idea because it's flux.
I've just seen a lot of scenarios where games are announced. Yeah, and then the other person says, "This is still on our platform, you guys." Like, I've seen that happen multiple times, and not to mention when they did the Wasteland 3 and the Outer Worlds, PlayStation was still talking about that. True. They didn't just act like it doesn't exist anymore.
I think they're going to pay for exclusivity. I say this just out of pure speculation and pure guess, but I think it's that Microsoft just has so many hundreds of billions of dollars. I think they realize that like sometimes you have to pay for the other people to lose in order for you to find that win. And I think it's going to be them just saying like, all right, we own the studio. We're just got to pay Disney enough that Disney is okay with us using their toys only at our house.
Yeah. Okay. Let me push back. This is a fun one. Just for devil's advocate. What about, to Hoeg's point, that says, Indiana Jones ain't really popping like that. Like, this generation don't know about. So why should
we trot out 100-year-old Harrison Ford?
Hoeg, you gonna like the poll question?
Executive produced movie.
Hoeg, you
gonna like? Indiana Jones should have been rebooted. I love Indiana Jones, but
but it should have, like, Harrison Ford. He looks so bored in anything.
I know, yeah.
Like he doesn't
Rise
care.
Don't get me started.
Well, so that's why my guess, I think that this game 100%, I think this game is going to be young Indiana Jones, and they're going to go the direction of Tomb Raider, and it's going to be the rise of Indiana Jones, or Indiana Jones and the First Adventure is what it's going to be called. And I bet the movie's going to come out with old geriatric and then at the same time, I bet they're going to announce as soon as he dies on set of an accident.
DreamcastGuy.
You're gonna crash a plane into the set or something like that.
When this happens, this video is evidence against you.
Protect us.
I'm sorry to all my future defense lawyers.
No, but in all honesty, the one line that they said in their announcement was it was in the prime of his career. So I see it as kind of another adventure in World War II, probably, give or take. But it certainly could be.
Didn't it say that it was going to be an original too, like
it's original. Fate of Atlantis style, which is one of the best LucasArts adventure games ever made.
No doubt. It is. Look, so I'm getting the super chat. The King's been patiently waiting.
We got Mods Gaming with the $10 super chat. Exclusive or not, it will be Xbox Game Pass day one.
Factual. Mods, what's up, brother? LordsGaming.net in the building, my bro. Mods Gaming, salute.
Like, when it comes to, let me finish my statement real quick.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to that, I just personally feel like the way Twitter was run, obviously Twitter's not 100% anything, but there are certain scenarios where you could see the way things are going on Twitter that you could kind of, get a taste of what's going on. Like, it's like I said, like, people wanted to go, they were talking about the Hellblade stuff, and they're like, well, just because they didn't point out and say, write out that certain games are exclusive or not, that means that it's not exclusive. I'm like, but if you look at Hellblade, they never said that about Hellblade either. Right. And then when it was announced, it wasn't exclusive.
No, I mean,
One thing that I'm thinking about now that sort of that clarifies stuff a little bit for me. Let's say even the Game Pass argument, right? Let's 15 million Game Pass subscribers right now, right?
20.
But all right, so let's round the 20.
I mean, let's not use metrics from last September. Let's keep going. 20.
Let's go. Between 15 and 20. Between 15 and 20. So let's say by the time this game comes out,
let's go 20.
Let's say the answer to exclusivity now is no. Like, nah, you're not getting that. And by the time the game's ready to come out, we're looking at 40 million Game Pass subscribers. Now, maybe the leverage is a little bit more on Microsoft.
I think your rationale is kind of skewed. Right, because you just said it didn't move from September to now, but by the time the game comes out, it's gonna go to 40.
By the time the game comes out, we're talking about 2 or 3 years.
At 20 though.
And I want
so it's fine. Why are you a stickler for this 20? Right?
He want that 20.
And I want to point out, it's like Hoeg said, Indiana Jones ain't really popping like that, but you can flip that around. It's like, you can pay exclusivity because it's not popping like that.
Tell the truth.
Why are you saying it like that? He's
Tell the truth.
I know we saying it like he the worst. Like he got
this podcast. We are literally holding down Harrison Ford and taking turns.
We're like, we're beating up Harrison.
But it is true. It is that thing where Microsoft could come to the table and be like, "Hey, man, like, listen.
Let's be real here. This ain't hot.
I see what you say. Oh, y'all saying because it's bars. I get it now. I can
see that.
If it was something like Star Wars, to be like, okay, I'm not paying what you guys want. But
right.
It's Indiana Jones. When's the last time you've been in a party?
Okay.
Anyway, and people's like, Indiana Jones is lit. You ain't never been there.
So he like the old rapper that was successful back in the day. He ain't dropped that hot in years. So Microsoft, I see where y'all going.
That had a couple good years and then never talked about again.
Okay. I got y'all. I see the mentality. So super chat, we got to get King after this.
What else do we have?
Let me go get something to drink. I got to do this.
We got Stitch with the $2 super chat. Don't forget, Microsoft has FU money to keep games in house. They do. They absolutely do. They absolutely
no.
do.
We missed 2 of them.
We missed 2 before that.
No, I got mods.
No, it was before mods.
Before mod. We
got
Stitch.
Super chat.
Lord Roughness and Lexecutioner.
Okay, we got.
Yeah, we got them.
Okay,
he good.
Just making sure.
No doubt. Good catch. We all caught up now, son.
We got JD. JD always likes to come.
Yes, sir.
JD Gamer with the $10 super chat. Given that it's possible that Microsoft needs to now negotiate the details of Indiana Jones exclusivity, how much do we think Microsoft will spend to get it to 1, Game Pass, and then 2, Xbox exclusivity? 250 million? Question mark.
No, nowhere near
Not
that.
250
Nah,
million.
that's a whole studio that Sony just paid for.
Well, the couple times there's been leaked exact numbers for exclusivity, it's surprisingly low. Like the couple times I've seen exclusivity contracts leaked, it's like 3 million sometimes or 15 million. It's not like they're not paying the whole cost of the game. A lot of times you just need to throw them enough that they're willing to do it, because a lot of times it's like, all right, exclusivity for so long. Like
So the metric, so the metric for exclusivity is some amount of math that depends on the circumstance. That is, okay, if Disney made this deal because they were going to sell a projection amount of copies on the Xbox and the PlayStation, you say, okay, that projection comes straight off the PlayStation. We're losing those sales. What was our royalty cut? Which isn't 100%. What was our cut of those sales on PlayStation? That's a number.
Facts.
And then Disney says, okay, that's the number we want. Microsoft says, no. This number. And then Sony says, or Disney says, okay, we come to an agreement between those numbers, or we're not willing to do it without it. And you know, you continue from there. But that's the baseline math. There's a lot of stuff that can go into it from there. Modified royalties, Game Pass, streaming services, whatever. So, but that's your baseline. We're not going to make those sales anymore. What would we have made in dollars with our projection? You owe us that.
So question, Hoeg. All right, is the conversation always only based on the numbers, or do they have the conversation we have, like, well, Indiana Jones isn't where it used to be? Or,
that's the projections, right? Because they're all guesses. We don't have sales numbers.
So pretty much, like, Hoeg, they're like, look, okay, like we know that we might sell this much on the PlayStation platform. He's like, but pretty much like getting exclusivity. He's like, give us that up front. Like, so that way, if we don't go, like, because it can always be less than they thought. So they come out on top. It can always be more. So,
and you can cover for those things. You can have a contract that has a shifting royalty, that has more going to the licensor before you hit X amount of dollars, that is designed to share some of that risk, especially if it's something that's a real big unknown. Because the conversation we're having is the conversation they'd have. Let's say that Disney just rolled in and they were having this conversation. They sat down at a table. Disney says, well, we've projected that our Indiana Jones game is going to sell 20 million copies on both systems in the first weekend. And Microsoft says, excuse me? You know what a lot of video game sales is? It's like, no, that's why we created a third-party outsourcing studio. And then they say, well, we think that maybe if we're really lucky, it could have sold 5 million across both platforms. And then Disney says, no. Indiana Jones is, and I quote some of the folks on the Iron Lords podcast, lit. And then you have this fight. But that fight
us in the Iron Lord podcast we don't go sign
he on to something. Go ahead, boy. Spit the bars.
But it's just guessing, right?
We say it's coming in hot.
Yeah, we coming in hot.
You're getting the, everybody comes into my comments on my videos and says, oh, corporate America has all this research and all this money. It's still just human beings. It's still just human beings with a lot of analytics that might be fighting about different sets of analytics. And one side has a vested interest in having that number high, and one side has a vested interest in having that number low.
Good point. King, you've been patient. What's going on? Where you at?
All right, first of all, Lord Wet Blanket Hoeg over there.
That's what a lawyer is.
Listen.
He's here to rain on your parade. That's what
he's
he
here
does.
He's here to tie our legs to the floor so we don't fly high. So what I'm going to do is cut that rope, and I'm going to fly with my man DreamcastGuy. Right? So I think you're onto something, DreamcastGuy.
Oh, you onto something?
I'm down with Lord DreamcastGuy 100% because I say this, right? When he said them bucks, he said they got billions of dollars.
I didn't say it too. It's only DreamcastGuy. No, but listen,
I'm the most right.
He's the most right.
He's got a pedal to the guest. Come on now.
He said it first. That was one. And two, he said another topic.
Adding with his credit. Continue,
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate the host that gave you the torch.
Oh my God. Move time, Addict.
The first turn at bat. But anyway, I say this because he said one point. Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer has the bank with Satya. So now that we're looking over at Odin and we like, yo, this is.
Are we back with this analogy? Okay, let's go.
Exactly. We'll look over at him and we'll say, yo, listen, they have that Uncharted, right? oh yeah, we do like that game. And we couldn't really seal it down. We did good metrics when we had Tomb Raider on for that first year. It really sold really well. And then when it came out on the Xbox One X, it looked fantastic and people gravitated towards it. And when it hit Game Pass, this was the numbers that did. So what do you think we should do to lock down this exclusivity? Well, being that we don't own them yet, but we will, that's a foregone conclusion, Hoeg.
Don't like Hoeg with this.
Not mad.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
So, we will own them. Now, for you PlayStation fans out there that's saying, please don't let this be true. It's over. You guys got Uncharted. You guys have Tomb Raider to share with us. We're not giving you Indiana Jones. And I don't care what anybody say if it's not lit. I don't care what you saying.
You're being the wet blanket now.
Yes, you're being the wet blanket.
No, this blanket is for them. So we don't get Uncharted over here. We purchased this company for these reasons.
We appreciate it, DreamcastGuy, if you let us be messy. Like, you don't have to.
He loves this stuff. Come on.
Let's do it. I'm here for the blood sports. Let's do it.
So I'm just saying this, right? A lot of you guys got your hopes and dreams floating in the sky. I'm here to do a Hoeg to you and pull your legs down, pull you back down to the earth. Microsoft is not going to allow that game out of their stable. It's going to stay here. If you want to partake, and this is the metrics they bring to the table. Okay. So you want to put it on PlayStation, huh? This is what you're thinking, huh? This is what I say to you. First, we have xCloud. So every phone, with the deals that we do have with Samsung, we'll have this app on it. Oh, we also have these TV deals where the app will be on the television. So we have ability to reach billions at one time. All right, that's not even talking about the 20 million Game Pass subscribers. So let's look at this, and then those companies that have, those consoles that we have sold already. Previous consoles, Xbox Series consoles, and also the Xbox One consoles. We have these consoles. This platform is viable to get you the metrics and numbers that you are looking for. And as Hoeg says, when they walk in the room, and if they say, we need X amount of dollars to make this right. Well, here you go. This is where Satya comes in, and he throws the money on the table and said, is this enough for you? I got a T-date. I got to go.
But all for Indiana King?
You know why it's very important? That's that one that you've been asking for. This is the one you've been asking for. So you are in not the minority. You might be in the majority. You might be the same group of people that has been dying for Uncharted on Xbox, a story-driven, beautiful, narrated game for that console. We need this win. We need this. This might be the thing inside Game Pass that pushes it a little bit forward.
And being that the moniker subscriptions for them.
Well, listen, I think the subscription service itself will sell itself. Once you put quality games inside of it, it definitely goes up. It pushes the needle forward.
No doubt.
And I gotta say, when Dreamcast was hitting those points, when he said that money, I said, that's my man.
He likes
definitely to the point.
You love half of what I say. When I talk about Xbox,
He took that far.
I talk about my PlayStation 5. Why do we invite this guy?
I don't watch that video. I don't watch that video.
I don't watch that video.
Skip. I pretend I do not see.
Now, one thing that really makes sense about what King is saying is this, and we've talked about.
And I gotta give Hoeg a chance to rebut.
Yeah. How do you open up the Game Pass to true big third-party exclusive, right? If you can do it in-house in a roundabout in-house way like this, with the purchase of ZeniMax and owning the studio that's going to be making this game, I think, because again, it opens that door for showing other publishers, hey, if you put your third-party game day and date on Game Pass, day and date, maybe exclusively or not, but if you're willing to put it day and date in Game Pass, you will see these numbers. Right. And to me, if you're gonna try that at all, right, the safest bet is to do it with something that eventually is gonna be quote unquote in-house for you. So I mean, I could see it. I want to see, because to me, Lucasfilm is like, all right, we just made this new umbrella. We want to make as much money as possible. Right. That said, like Stitch said, they Microsoft has FU money, so it can happen. It can happen.
No doubt.
It's like when it comes down to it, I do think that Microsoft's biggest intent right now is they're trying to compete with Game Pass. They're not trying to compete against Game Pass, and I do feel like not taking that direction because they've been seeing what's happening. Like it is not a coincidence that everything people clown on, they slowly been taking off the chessboard for the past couple years. Like the power narrative, the no games narrative, and like let's be real here. Islam, I cannot believe I'm about to say this. Hashtag just one.
My man, my brother. That's on to something.
They know that is the biggest type of game genre that they don't have, and maybe Composure could make one, but it's just like what would be better for them to invest into the game that they're already investing into with Compulsion that can be a hit and miss, or a name like Indiana Jones.
True. I mean, because it's still not a new IP like COG wanted. It's still not like a brand new IP. But that said, I said the power of a third party IP, a licensed IP. Couldn't really be powerful.
King and then Hope after that.
I think. Let me just say something real quick, King. We have to admit that when it comes to like Netflix, Microsoft saw what was their downfall at the beginning. It's that they had to rely on third party stuff. But now they see Netflix doing a lot better than they used to because they started implying their own content that they don't have to lose because they would lose the licensing or lose the contract, and that's where they've already tried to try to cut it off. It's like we're not going to go in with third party and then not first party. We're going to go in with both.
Right.
And I think that's why they're investing more into their first party than they would invest into getting timed exclusive third party stuff on Game Pass.
King, then Hoeg, then I'm up, and we out.
I think the game is going to be young Indiana Jones, like the rise of Indiana Jones type of thing like that. I think the MacGuffin will be like he's in a pyramid or whatever, and he touches something that does an alternate world where the Nazis actually win.
I love that.
That'd be awesome.
You understand?
Hell yeah!
Because they did those stories so well. Like they really did.
Oh, they excellent.
They did.
And they built a great world.
And that's another thing. Story and character. They're so good at it. They made BJ Blazkowicz a viable character.
Exactly.
Can we just are we just going to automatically assume that they're going to go with the Nazi route? Can we assume that they're just going to?
That's the time period.
That's the time period.
It'll be Nazis.
I don't I'm talking about like their past games where the whole game was that it was literally about killing Nazis.
Well, but imagine if the first game's called Rise of Indiana Jones and the second game he escapes the pyramid, but he's stuck in that timeline, so it's called the Revolution of Indiana Jones, and he overthrows the Nazi regime. Look, I would play BJ Blazkowicz for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and that's the ability for them to take what we expect from an Indiana Jones story and flip it on its head. Man.
Yeah.
The question is, would Disney let them?
I think Disney would sign on to it because, like Hoeg said, it's not hot like that. They're willing to try anything.
What's crazy? How games are used to promote. It's like from the creators of this and that. It's like so they're gonna socialize. Like I could just imagine Disney be like, "How are you gonna promote this?" We'd be like, "We're gonna promote it like we promote everything." Killing Nazis. Like, no, you're not.
It is what it is. That's what it gave Hoeg a chance to rebut, and also we didn't really touch about the executive produced by Todd Howard's on this.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
A lot of people feel
I'm gonna tell you this. I think Todd Howard.
That's a positive.
Oh, people think it's a negative. Hoeg thinks it's a negative.
A lot of people feel like that's a negative.
I think it's honestly, I think it's name only.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. Listen, I think Todd Howard's at the point at Bethesda. Once they get this buyout goes through, whatever.
Sleeping on the guard.
No, it's not even about
the brown leather.
No, it's not about hating on it. It's just that his actual involvement in it to me isn't gonna be that great. It's not gonna be.
I never see his name out there like that.
That's about collecting a check.
Oh my goodness!
Oh wow!
No, I mean, listen. After this buyout goes through, I think senior management at at Bethesda and ZeniMax starts to sort of lay back a little.
I don't think it's like that because
I do.
Especially like maybe other people, but Todd Howard, like he might as well have been working with Microsoft this entire time anyway. Like a lot of their games have been heavily Microsoft influenced. Their devs have worked closely with them for the past 10 years. Like he might as well have already been working for Microsoft.
Let me get Hoeg on this because there's a lot of God Howard slander. I need to know where you at.
Slander.
Yes.
I'm a wet blanket, right? So I can perform that.
Put it out. Perform that service, sir.
Let's go.
A couple of things.
Let's
One,
go.
that struck me immediately as a marketing agreement that Todd Howard mandated as part of the Bethesda contract with the Indiana Jones, that when it was announced, he'd get his name on it. I don't think he'll be functioning in any great capacity, and I wouldn't want him to. I don't think he's done anything great for video games. Actively detracted from the valuation of Bethesda and ZeniMax for a number of years now. That all being said, I don't think you have to worry about it because he's not running machine games. He loves Indiana Jones apparently, and that's great. I agree.
He's going to stick in his studio that he's always in.
God, the reflections of Hoeg do not reflect Iron Lord Podcast.
I think that this conversation vastly overestimates the value of both the Indiana Jones franchise and machine games. If you go look at the sales of New Colossus, which
good point.
Famously
they aren't selling games.
And the last one was a dud. Let's keep it a buck,
One of the reasons Bethesda sold out at quote unquote only 7.5 billion is that they really haven't had that big winner in a long time. Even though I love Arcane to death, I love the new Prey, one of my favorite games of last generation. Sold nothing. Sold nothing.
And that's why when I said that Microsoft, when they put all the cards on the table, beyond all of those other franchises, which are fantastic, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, all that stuff, they saw this stuff. And for me, I think we're going to see a shift in Bethesda and ZeniMax in the coming years, where we're going to see them doing more licensed stuff. I heard that second team at Arcane is doing some sort of fantasy adventure game.
Love Arcane. Love it.
So I could see them, getting in bed with Warner and making a Lord of the Rings game or something like that. So I think the other stuff that we're going to see down the pipeline, that other stuff that they showed on this table, is more licensed stuff that I think was very attractive to Microsoft. Apart from the stuff, again, the quality of the games can't be denied, but they haven't been big sellers. Right. So I think there's more to what Microsoft saw in terms of third-party licensed stuff that we're going to see down the pipeline.
Finish on, we got to move on.
Yeah, and I got no problem with any of that. I think that's a very big possibility. I do have a problem overall, and see, this is going to offend certain people on this particular podcast.
Let's get it.
With assuming that Microsoft and its big pile of money and its even bigger pile of middle management and too many chefs in the kitchen is going to suddenly make these game developers better. I think the stuff that we have seen from the studios that they have bought have primarily been things that were already mostly baked before Microsoft got it, and Microsoft is now working on a decade and a decade and a half of not really bringing things across the finish line in the same way that Sony has, regardless of how you feel about their particular products. They clearly have the magic touch in one specific genre, the over-the-shoulder.
Over-the-shoulder, third person. Continue.
and Xbox doesn't. They remake Halo. It kind of goes out with a whimper. They continue to try to make Gears work, and maybe it kind of does. Even when it's a great game, it's not really selling very much. Game Pass is a brilliant move, and it will work eventually. But is this the way they're going to do it? And are they going to suddenly make Bethesda's output better? I don't know. And for everybody in your chat that's mad at me for bad mouthing, I think, like every superstar in every industry, there's a time and a place for that person, and then that time and place goes past them.
And I think the time and place passed when they gave him that check for the buyout. When he gets that will be that time and place.
Let me answer Hope. All right, Xbox dudes that's in the chat. All right, y'all hear this, right? And I give a shout out to every Xbox exec that's watching. All right,
and there's nobody watching.
Watching because we have two superstars on the panel, so they're definitely watching. I say this to say this: they're challenging you. Hoeg is challenging you. Hoeg is challenging you to make great games.
Hey,
Hoeg is telling you that
it.
your time has passed you by. And I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that you're in your prime because Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer understands what is wrong and what needs to be done. And the change started with Flight Simulator. So I'm going to tell you guys.
Hoeg's laughing. Hoeg's laughing.
Yeah. Stay focused and stay vigilant. Don't let him pull you down. Stay flying in the sky. Let's keep going.
I'll back Lord King up on this. Hey, if they wind up proving me wrong, nobody is happier than me.
Yes,
we
would need your knees though. We would need your knees for that. That would be an on-camera knees for the slander to the Xbox community you've been doing.
This is the truth, though. I want more and better games out there.
Absolutely.
I have my doubts about them, but that's what I want. So if that's right, then great.
No, fair enough. Let me jump in. We went. Oh, okay, Dreamcast, get your last.
I just wanted to make a one last minute joke. I went to we've gone to QuakeCon the last couple of years, and I was there. They let me go to the VIP room while they're getting ready to show off Fallout 76. I'm not even joking, man. Todd Howard walked in, and he's like 5'2". He's super tiny, and he had like 3 bodyguards who are these huge dudes, and it made him look even smaller. It looked like he was wearing a little kid's leather jacket. Like, all right, I guess gonna get a little bit of this pizza here.
Oh, man.
He like goes up there, and is like, time to talk about Fallout 76, and I was like, oh no. And now whenever I watch his conferences, I'm like, oh, that's why he's always sitting down. You don't want that guy standing next to you. He's the Tom Cruise of gaming.
Salute, man. A lot of God Howard slander, but look, I'll say my last boss. We got him, we went super long with this one. No, it's cool. It was great. No, man, look, at the end of the day, to me, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is truly one where I don't know what is gonna happen. I could legit see both Hoeg, King, Dreamcast, everybody's scenarios. I can see
everyone but me. Okay,
my Attic scenario. I could clearly see the vision of Lord Attic in all its glory.
That was it.
Lord Attic. Anyway, he took his camera. So look, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where, to me, the victory is still in Game Pass. It's still in Game Pass. At the end of the day, at the very least, regardless of what happens in the Xbox ecosystem, this will most likely be in Game Pass. Now, the other thing is, and no one mentioned that, I know I'm going to go and elaborate. I'm curious if 1 year timed exclusivity could be also on the table. You know what I'm saying? With something like this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Again, like Hoeg said, with the numbers, the negotiations, that kind of stuff. And I just want to transition on. I think it's interesting to me, you know what I'm saying, that, LucasArts Games is now in this mode where, like, we're going to be giving other people stuff, which is going to transition us into the next topic. So let's move on, which is, we got that Star Wars Butters Addict. You want anything to say about it?
Before Addict starts, let me just get
some chat.
That's a couple of chats. So we have Geekhead188. Pause. $3 super chat. King woke up and decided to speak facts. Then we have Clutchman with the $5 super chat. If we had Hoeg Law for every podcast, the gaming community would be cleaner than my credit before I turned 18.
Jesus.
Then we have Pixel G with the $5 super chat. Microsoft overpaid for Bethesda, even more reasonable to make everything exclusive. Tee-hee, great cast, brothers.
Tee-hee.
I haven't heard Tee-hee in
a long time.
That's the ooh-woo of 2009.
Yes. What else we got?
We're caught up. I think
we're caught up.
Unless something else popped in. Hold on a second.
Okay, what else we got? Anything else?
No, we're good.
Addict, are you back, sir, off strike for not getting recognition for every point made?
He's in space.
I don't know. See, the space thing. This is me flying out of here because I'm just not feeling it.
Anyway, sir,
the Not Mad podcast.
Good transition. Now that we're in space, what's going on, man? Lucas, what's going on, man? Star Wars, what's happening?
So apparently the 10 years of hell, I call it, with the they've had 10 years of exclusivity on Star Wars games, and I can't say it was entirely bad because I don't think it was entirely bad, but we had that fiasco with Battlefront, and I don't think Battlefront was like a horrible game or anything, or even the second one, but I do think that in terms of what I played when I was younger with the original ones, it was it fell short. And then we got the famous like 7 games canceled in the 10 years. I mean, they had at one time they had a Dark Moth game that was canceled. They had that 1912. What was it called?
1313.
1313. Yep. They had that canceled. So there's been a lot
that
of
was before EA.
Yeah.
there's been a lot of mismanagement going on with EA. So like now it seems like that's over. It seems like this new entity is going around babysitting people. So I think they're going to be a little bit more open to taking a little bit more risk in terms of who they work with the Star Wars franchise, because obviously, you know, like Hoeg said, they're literally going to probably put in every contract, we get the last say on the majority of the things in terms of, especially lore, because they're really big on the Star Wars lore and they don't want to mess that up. So
that's normal.
Yeah, so like what I want to bring to you guys is like, do you think we'll start seeing better quality Star Wars and more Star Wars games in general? And I don't know if they confirmed this, but did EA confirm if they're even going to continue making Star Wars games?
They will.
Yeah, they did.
EA has a partnership with LucasfilmGames. They'll be continuing their relationship.
Pretty much.
And that's what their statement was. Their statement was that they're already wanting to do something like another Fallen Order, and they said that we will continue working on Star Wars stuff. So yes, it's confirmed they're doing it, and everybody else is doing it.
So Lucasfilm went out of their way in the statement, and if you go look at the Ubisoft post, the last 3 paragraphs are about don't just hate on EA, only hate on EA a little bit.
And I have a particular question for King. Anyone else can answer this, but King in general. King,
yes, sir.
Gun to the head right now. Microsoft has the opportunity to make one Star Wars type of franchise. What would it be? One Star Wars game. And who would make it? Who would make it?
Oh, okay. One Star Wars game. I would have Obsidian make The Mandalorian.
Yeah, could use a story.
I would have Obsidian make The Mandalorian.
Do you feel like Mandalorian would be an RPG? I think it would be a third-person cover shooter.
See, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be RPG, because all right, if you watch The Mandalorian, he built his armor from the beginning of the series when it started. He didn't start off with the Beskar, and it grew. So wouldn't it be like you're building up your armor, you're getting your stuff ready as you have to go to planet, and you're getting different guns and you're building your ship up? Because remember, his ship kept getting tore up and he kept meeting different people. So it's a vast world of NPCs that you can meet. You can have an RPG element to it. And I honestly think that will be a fantastic game. It will have long legs too, as far as the RPG element to it. I don't want it to be the typical, you hear Star Wars and you have to fight with lightsabers, or you have to do cover shooters, or stuff like that. I want it to be a little bit different, a little bit more robust. I want to learn about the worlds. And I think Obsidian will do a great Mandalorian game.
Salute to Obsidian.
Are you suggesting that you're unhappy with the lore put forth in the Mandalorian plotline in this season?
No, not at all. I love it. Actually,
Hoeg is about to slander.
Hoeg is not about that.
Hoeg is not about it. I can see
Hoeg is not about this.
I felt that.
Fortnite joke.
I felt that.
Okay, I got you.
The Mandalorian grew from season 1 to season 2, and it ended higher than any series, like a TV show or whatever. Its climax, that last episode.
Spoilers. Time.
Gave you people saw that. If you didn't see
time.
Don't do that.
Come on, King.
I'm not gonna
tell me
what it is. I'm just saying that it ended on such a high note.
Yes.
And it gave so much legs. I mean, I believe actually that last episode sold 2 more seasons.
No, definitely. Time on Mandalorian, because this could be a Mandalorian podcast. I'm sorry, but we got a lot of topics.
I've got one about the Mandalorian. I don't love the Mandalorian. That's fine. I was joking about the fact the Mandalorian's collecting Beskar in Fortnite right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to
I know DreamcastGuy had something.
I was gonna real quick, because I know you guys are Destiny fans. I actually would love to see a game called like The Lost Years of the Rebellion, and it be about those early times when the rebellion was just endlessly and uselessly bashing itself against the Empire, but have it done by Bungie. I would love to have the idea of daily quests. I love the idea of gear. I love the idea of just co-op for everything, drop in, drop out. And honestly, they're the kings of fun aiming and pulling the trigger and that real good kickback. And I think it'd be good to have that. That's the biggest problem I've had with Battlefront, the new Battlefront games, is that shooting feels like crap. If they make that fun to shoot, you can put the Star Wars skin perfectly on it.
No doubt, no doubt. I agree. So back on track. Like we trying to get back, to be honest, with this whole Star Wars thing. So obviously the licensing agreement, you know what I'm saying, with EA and that, you know, with LucasArts Games again, and then looks like that deal has been altered. So looks like they're gonna.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Not altered?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Let's go.
So they entered into it in May of 2013. And then in November 2013, we found out it was a 10-year agreement.
Right.
So it ends in May of 2023.
Right.
You need to alter it to announce development of games that are going to come out after May of 2023.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got you. Didn't know that. That I didn't know that. So according to their, their vice president or whatever, they said, you know, obviously.
I love Hoeg.
I know Hoeg, he go correct. No, I like that. Now we need accurate information. I'm all about accurate information. So look, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be Ubisoft massive. You know, they're going to be handling it, and obviously massive from Division fame, you know, kind of thing. So looks like they're going to be doing it. So I just want to get Hoeg in. I know you're a huge fan of Star Wars.
I am.
And just your thoughts on this whole process where basically, well, we can't say alter, but, you know, losing presumed exclusivity, so to speak.
It did.
Yeah.
No, you can just, it didn't have to alter the contract, but it absolutely changed the outlook of people for the thumbnail on my video from Wednesday was Star Wars freed.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, it is one of those, and I don't hate EA.
Right.
And I'm glad that EA is going to keep making their games, but it was locked into this kind of really multiplayer focused,
right?
Not what I want out of Star Wars. You know, I love the adventure and the heroism and the lore and all that stuff. And Battlefront is fine, but it's Battlefront. It's not doing that. Jedi Fallen Order was the closest to do that, and I think Jedi Fallen Order 2 will be a big leap up now that they've learned a few things. I'm looking forward to that one. But no, I was very excited about it. I continue to be very excited about it. I think a lot of people that commented on my video said, well, I'm not a fan of Ubisoft, and they have their Ubi game and all this stuff. And I think the one thing I would say that's the most important here is that Ubisoft did not get an exclusive contract. These are not your 10-year lords for the next decade. This is Lucasfilm and Disney saying this didn't work. Giving it to one company, any company, EA's huge, didn't work. Star Wars fans were used to getting 4 or 5 games a year or 18-month period, 3 of which would be junk, 2 of which would be okay, and 1 of which we could convince ourselves was actually great when it was probably just okay. But either way,
power battles.
Yeah, sure, power battles. Great reference.
Masters of Terraskasi.
We're not going that one. I can't make the sale for that one. But yeah, so I look at it and say, even if you don't like Ubisoft, even if you don't like the next contract that they announced, this is a better world if you're a Star Wars fan than it was the day before, because you've got a better chance of something coming out that you'll like. Doesn't make any promises, as we know from being Star Wars fans since Disney bought it in 2013. Lucasfilm can make mistakes. They can make missteps. They can fire directors 90% of the way through filming. Whatever it is that they might do, they could still do it. But you're not locked into one business plan. You're not locked into one management structure. You're not locked into how do we monetize this? Where are the microtransactions? You'll probably still get that from the Ubisofts of the world, but it will be different. It will feel different. Massive. You know, we don't know what they're making based on their most recent output of Division. We can assume it's probably something like bounty hunters and smugglers and shooting and something that resembles Division.
Didn't the CEO say narrative-driven open world Star Wars game?
It did, but narrative-driven open world Star Wars game. So is the Division 2 narrative-driven and open world? No, I mean, I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking, not
from a corporate standpoint. Can you say that?
I mean, yes, you could, if you want to play semantics.
I don't think it's semantics. It's got a story. It's got mission structures. It's open world. You're collecting loot. I think it could very much be Division Star Wars Skin Edition.
Right. I would love that.
I think people think of it like it's Assassin's Creed. I don't think it's that.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when I hear massive, exactly. When I hear first of all, when I hear the developer involved massive, and then obviously when you see open world, I would lend to believe what you're saying. I would lean.
Well, right now, you know, I want the Immortals team to get it. You know, I want to fly around and do Jedi stuff with the Immortals team because I love them right now.
Fine.
But yeah, I think it's great. I think a lot of people we'll see soon whether or not Lucasfilm Games is intending to just kind of shop it to all the AAA developers, or whether we're gonna get a more Games Workshop Warhammer 40K approach to licensing is open, folks, and we're gonna try to put certain controls on it, but otherwise we're not going to say no. I think you're going to be much more likely to find the former. Disney is notoriously cautious about control of its intellectual property.
Yes.
So while I would prefer the Warhammer approach, which essentially results in, 3 layers of junk and then the occasional like just gem coming out. I think we're likely to get a very cautious approach, but with more companies comes more products, comes more possibilities, comes more successes. More darts at the dartboard.
No doubt. Fair enough. Saw Super Chat.
I just played a good Warhammer game. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's going in. He'll go in.
He's out of control.
I love it.
You haven't played a good Warhammer game. Dawn of War 2. What's the most recent?
No, I just played Chaos Bane.
Yeah, I like Chaos Bane.
Yeah, it was free to play. I picked it up. See, this is why I tell you that partaking inside Game Pass type of thing, I would have never picked it up, right? I would have never plunked down the cash, but the free to play stuff, and I saw it there for free to play. I was sitting there bored out of my mind, and I clicked on it. And, I was just like, wow, this is really good. And then the next Warhammer game I'm looking forward to. So when you say like 3 layers of Warhammer, I'm like,
because their method of licensing is to invite everybody to say, here's a rate effectively. You can have Warhammer. We're not going to control it that much. So you get these tiny companies in Croatia or wherever putting together the best game they can. And a lot of them have really good ideas, but a lot of them are not what we would consider AAA. They are like half of a 1A.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
I get the mental image. Hoeg wakes up and goes, I'm just going to poop all over every video game today.
I love these games. That's the thing. I just, we have to be honest about what they are.
Fair enough, Hoeg. So you're going to get this super chat that DreamcastGuy.
Michael, a.k.a. Bedside's Finest, with the $5 super chat. This slander will not be tolerated in the Xbox community. On for them. I guess this is the...
On God in them.
On God in them.
On God in them. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, on God in them. So I guess this is Todd Howard slander. Then we have...
I'm gonna get killed after this podcast.
You're still welcome back, Hoeg.
Then we have
if he's dead, I mean
it's fair. Continue.
Then we have King One Supreme, $5 super chat. How many too many RPGs on Xbox? Coalition made make a Mando or Han Solo game, please.
Okay.
I like
Are there too many RPGs on Xbox? Am I forgetting like all of them?
Is that a joke?
He's thinking about what's coming.
I guess. What's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That makes sense.
What else we got?
Then we have Slow Mo Backslap with the $5 super chat. Julian Garrity, former division director, said it's going to be a completely different from what Massive Entertainment has done before.
Slow Mo is the division expert, so I would definitely defer to him and Massive.
BioWare said a lot, though.
Oh my god! So we caught up.
Yeah, we're
all right. DreamcastGuy, Star Wars, EA kind of losing exclusivity, Ubisoft Massive. Where are you at with this thing, man?
Very positive. I mean, the thing is that I think that we're going to get more bad games. I think we're going to get more great games. I think it's that this is very much, I'm a huge believer in the rising tide lifts all boats. And I think that opening the floodgates a little bit, which seems like what Disney's doing, is Disney realizes, okay, we have so many different facets of Star Wars now, from the cartoon show Clone Wars to now The Mandalorian to the big freaking movies. I think they realize that, okay, this is too much for one conglomerate, which is EA, to handle. So I like that they're kind of taking the torch and handing it to a bunch of different people. I'm nervous that we're going to get some bad games. I'm a little bit afraid that some of this is just going to turn into crappy cell phone games and stuff. But I bet that in 2023, there are going to be some weird Game of the Year conversations of multiple Star Wars games. Once they're able to really drop all these projects, I think that's going to be the weird year of Star Wars.
That'd be great.
I am most curious probably about that Division project, the Division team.
I got bars for that. Continue.
They know graphics and realism in such a way. I think that part of what I love, I just watched Mandalorian for the first time. I just binged it last week and just super late to it. And what I enjoyed the most is there is a grittiness to it. Everybody's armor's got scuffs. People have burns on stuff. And I think that they are the singular team I would trust to perfectly translate the used aesthetic into a Star Wars game. So I'm excited.
Fair enough. Lord Addict, Star Wars connoisseur. What you feeling?
I think this is good. I am a huge, I wouldn't say I'm like into the Star Wars franchise like a lot of people are. Like, I'm like the kind of person that I go in and I leave. Go in and then I leave.
Same.
And I enjoy the lore, but then I leave. So, you know, like
I don't stay too long for the whole crowd. I get in, get my piece,
yeah,
and then I'm
because
out.
like I'm the kind of person that if I get into it too much, I don't leave. And I'm already with that with like Destiny, Halo.
Obsessive franchise.
I ain't trying to get like trapped into another trap hole and then I'm there for the rest of my life. Like, you know, I think that it's good because I think we're going to get different talent to work on different types of Star Wars games. Obviously, there is going to be some cell phone games. I think that's apparent. You know, what games aren't doing cell phone games this time? I just hope that they don't try to do the cell phone model to a point on consoles. That's my only hope with that.
No doubt. Let me get
One thing I can say on the cell phone question is that the original license from 2013 was only for core games. Star Wars mobile games have been licensable by anybody for this whole time.
For a long time. No, let me get my man Gino Black Game. You know he's switching. That's the homie. Gino Black Game and CT, what's up? He said, you guys all have great points, but you're way off. We need an Ewok game. Make it so you can craft trinkets and sell them all over Endor.
I'm with that guy.
Gino, what's up, baby? What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Got some economic simulators in here.
No doubt. Anyway, let me get Solve, man. What you thinking, man? Star Wars, the whole bit.
I'm excited about this, man. I think Star Wars never had any business being under one banner in terms of game development. You know, we're children of the 80s and 90s, and we had, you know, those super Star Wars side scrollers. We had all kinds of games. Some of them weren't great, some of them were fantastic. I think we're gonna get that again. But at the end of the day, man, like it's Star Wars. Like Star Wars belongs to the streets. Star Wars belongs to the streets. Star Wars free.
How you gonna say it belongs to the streets?
It belongs to the streets. Star Wars.
Man.
Yeah, I tell you, man, there's no business being like Hoeg say, like no business being under one banner with one way of thinking, with only the ability to make certain types of games.
Fair enough.
And then because you limit yourself. So with this now, I think with the creation of the new banner and the new umbrella, for me, I do think we'll get your phone games, but I think in terms of a quality bar, I think overall the quality bar is going to be higher than what we saw in the past. In the past, I feel like the Star Wars license was kind of all over the place. We got some great games, and we got some not so great games. But I think now this allows them to sort of pick and choose developers that make sense for particular types of games. I can't even imagine the amount of pitches they're receiving right now. For games. I really think at the end of the day, we're gonna get these small games. Like you just talked about it like an Ewok game. But the most interesting thing about Star Wars is like DreamcastGuy said, the grittiness, the underground stuff that you don't necessarily see when you're watching the big movies or something like that. It is the smaller shows. It is the details that you see in something like Clone Wars and Mandalorian. It is the stuff that you see in like in obviously it's isn't canon anymore, but a lot of the written stuff. So it's interesting that now we have the possibility to explore those sort of corners of the Star Wars universe that don't get seen in the big productions.
Facts.
So I think it's great. I think it's great. I think this is what needed to happen. And like I said, I'm glad that EA continues to work on them because Battlefront, for all intents and purposes now, right? Battlefront is an exemplary product right now. I mean, it wasn't when it came out. It has plenty of issues, but for people who like that type of game, that game is great. And with Fallen Order, I do think that, you know, handing it to Respawn and make a story-based narrative thing is what a lot of Star Wars heads really want. You know, they want to get into the nitty-gritty of what Star Wars is. Not everything doesn't have to be Jedi and lightsabers.
Facts.
Yeah, I want to see the grimy parts of Star Wars.
You like Rogue Squadron type stuff.
Yeah.
King, Star Wars, Ubi, where you at?
All right, so I think you guys are onto something as far as the Division take of like a Star Wars game. I thought that Battlefront could have really took off further than what it was had they had somebody like Bungie working on the gun mechanics, right? Because when you pick up the gun, the gunplay is damn near 100% of any first-person shooter game. If the gunplay is really on point, then you most likely will stick around. That's what made us stay in Destiny. Facts. You'd be like, oh, the story is kind of whack. I didn't like this, but that gunplay though. Like, you know, if you lost in a battle, you lost because of you and not because of, you know, the gun mechanics or whatever. You didn't feel a tactile feel to it. I think that Massive does a great job with the Division.
Yes.
I think the Division lacks a couple of things that can change it into something else. And I think those things are found in Star Wars, right? Well-known villains. Right.
Enemies.
Distinct
Instead
enemies.
of the guy with the hoodie. Exactly.
You know, like the dude with double up armor.
Yeah,
you know, that was in
breaks
Rikers
immersion.
Island.
I tell Division fans all the time. The raid is never. I hate to interrupt because you're on fire. Right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what breaks immersion with Division. But if they had those enemies like Destiny had when you fight
exactly like those droids are rolling
with
certain things, and you have to fight them in that manner, right? Distinct enemies doing distinct things on distinct worlds. You know, imagine what they can bring to the table, and I think this will be a surefire hit for them if they're able to do, like you said, you get that armor, you know, you get those that looter shooter feel to it, like, yo, what did you get those boots? Did you get the gun? And not like Saab said, it doesn't have to be Jedi. Right, you know, maybe that's one of the bosses inside a raid that you're fighting a Jedi or something like that, or fighting a Sith Lord. And you have to do a mechanic to get him stunned, and you know, two people go this way, and you know, it's just different things that they can do. I know they had a good template with the Division, and I think they grounded it too much because Destiny lore took us so far out. They wanted to be the polar opposite of it. But now with this franchise, you're able to even go into that same grittiness of the Division, but also that world, that fantasy world of Star Wars. Yeah. Right. So I think they will have the best of both worlds. I think they can bring it, and their aesthetics are good because we saw the Division 2 and we said, damn, it looks good.
Yeah.
You on fire. Let me jump in because me and you are in the same type of pocket. Look, first point, like what Hoeg saying, what Saw was saying, and Addict is saying, so Addict can understand that we agree with Addict here.
From the Matrix.
From the Matrix, even though you're the Matrix.
I like the roller coaster.
I like the idea of the properties going other places. When it's locked in and you got that bad deal, you're stuck. So I like that, you know, Disney and them, they're moving on from that old structure, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is I'm with King 100%. As much as I slander Division being a Destiny fan, I cannot take away what DreamcastGuy said. Snowdrop engine is phenomenal looking. It is phenomenal. That engine, the day-night cycles, the rain, the weather. Now you put that in that type of universe.
Could you imagine Hoth with the snow and you had to play Survivor on Hoth, and you can climb inside a Banton? Yeah. Like see, I'm a Star Wars dude. Like, you know, and trust me, I can go to that place. I can see cell phone games of Baby Yoda. I can see that stuff. I understand it, right? I know you guys are fearful for that, but think about the upside of it and not so much of the downside. Those games has to sell to, you know, whoever. My daughter needs to happen to play Candy Crush with, you know, Baby Yoda heads or whatever, or Ewoks making cookies and baking Cookie Factory. But I knew when Disney got the franchise and they spent X amount of billions for it, they were going to make sure that this stuff was going to be marketable and sold. You heard DreamcastGuy just said he just watched The Mandalorian. He binge watched it and he loved it, right? So once it reaches to everybody on everything, this is what they wanted to do. And I'm so happy that we're getting back to it, because remember when Star Wars was on Genesis, was on Super Nintendo, was on here and was on there, and then it got segmented to like one little thing. And I'm happy that it's going other places.
No, I agree. The last point I was going to say, like I said, we talked about how we like, all right, Hoeg, I got you. You know, on this whole thing, and it's just like, look, my only thing negative about this is RP Division, bro. Because Massive is going to be on this. And Division fans have been wondering, Division 2 fans, like, yo, what's going on? What's the latest updates? We're not hearing optimizations. We're not hearing anything, you know, major down the pipeline. Now we know, because this is where resources are going to be. So, yeah, man, like that's pretty much it.
Y'all should have supported it harder.
Yeah, Division. So I agree. Division 3 ain't happening. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna play take more rounds." The hoodie, no doubt. Look, I ain't got no slander for the engine, and I think it's gonna be a good look. But we got to move on. I do want to get Hoeg. I know Hoeg's got to leave shortly, but I want to start him off first with this topic that we're going to just bum rush into. If you have maybe 10 more minutes, Hoeg? Or how
yeah, I can do 10 more.
All right, cool.
Can I show you something super fast?
Sure.
I randomly ended up at a Star Wars actor's house recently.
Okay.
And at their house, they had a full Star Wars museum built with all sorts of like original stuff from the movies. And this is a painting of the original Star Wars poster.
That is beautiful.
Super weird. Just like all their stuff was like original props from the movies and stuff. It was super bizarre. So let me just tell you, I don't know. It's interesting that like I think the people that are working on Star Wars care just as much as the fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Part of why I feel like this Disney deal happened is that they realized, okay, more people should experience this freaking amazing universe. So,
absolutely.
I don't know.
Look, we're going to move on because we got Hoeg for a couple minutes. I got to get his thoughts on this whole situation. So I'm going to set it off. Look, we all know what's going on. Cyberpunk 2077, the whole bit. What you said, Hoeg? Hoeg's just laughing. I saw him comment. But look, obviously we saw the apology. It went out, you know what I'm saying? And they had some things to say in reference to it as far as the co-founder's personal explanation of what happened to the days leading up to the launch. So we saw that. Most of you guys saw the video. And then the second thing, which came out rather, shortly after that, was Lord Jason Schreier, who we've had on ILP before.
You know how bad it must be to be a company and wake up and be like, man, Jason done made an article about us.
Yeah, that's a bad day.
It must be terrifying.
We're going to get into both aspects of this. So for fairness, right? So the first thing he came out, he said, look, it said, what went wrong with Cyberpunk? He said he had interviews with over 20 current and former CDProjektRed staff to paint the pictures, unchecked ambition, technical woes, unrealistic deadlines, and above all, one belief. We made The Witcher 3. It'll work out. So some excerpts from it, you know what I'm saying, that, Dev said that they, despite promises to crunch, that not be mandatory, they felt pressure to work overtime on and off for years. He goes into similar things to like how the Anthem devs mentioned, where they talked about the BioWare magic, this unwavering belief that with enough hard work and crunch, their games would come together. And CD Projekt Red was similar. He said when asked about unrealistic deadlines, directors said they'd be fine. They made The Witcher 3 after all. Some tidbits that were also cut from his article were veteran devs from other companies were shocked at CD Projekt Red's free-for-all production. For example, if someone needed a shader, they'd make it with no pipeline in place to determine whether someone had already made one with the same function. And then one of the last points they were saying, just in general, about the culture, about unrealistic deadlines, maybe possibly coming out 2022, the whole bit. So look, let me give it to you, Hoeg. I know, Hoeg, you had some spicy things to say in reference to this argument. But in your defense, the actual studio head, I forget his name, Adam, can't pronounce the last name. Badowski, right. He actually fired back at Lord Jason, and he has some things to say in reference to that. And
I could, if I could see these. Unfortunately, I'm blocked by Mr. Schreier. So
Same.
I disagreed with a few things that he said, and one of them, honestly, that was that.
Honestly, think when it comes to like Jason Schreier, I wouldn't even attempt it, man. I'll be like, you got that, fam. That's you. I'm out. Like.
I literally replied to his tweets once is, you're such an intelligent guy, it's baffling you get things wrong so often. And he said, you seem like a pedantic loser or something like that, and blocked me.
The block game of Lord Jason Schreier is legendary. We know. We've had him on here before.
The list is a vaunted and select crew.
You have earned the honor. But what I wanted to say, just to hit the rebut from this guy, is pretty much he just said, look, because one of the big things that came out of the article was that the 2018 demo was completely fake, according to...
Yeah, we could talk about that, too, because I think that's a little bit strong. So you can finish your intro. I will say, I tweeted this out.
Yes.
I like a lot of Jason Schreier's work. I also think he gets things wrong from time to time. He tends to editorialize when perhaps I wouldn't. In this particular instance, this article it feels much more hollow than even usual from him, and maybe that's because CD Projekt Red has gotten out in front of a little bit of it, especially with the Marcin Nowitzki commentary earlier in the week. But when he says it's fake, I've worked enough with game developers, and I don't pretend that my clients are Electronic Arts or Activision or anybody like that. But I've worked enough with folks that are preparing for conventions of smaller stature than E3 and occasionally some bigger ones, and you are always creating a slice, a demo, an E3 thing that is different. And is that fake in some functional, definitional way? Yes. Is it intended to show what you think the game's going to be?
Really common.
Probably. And so, yes, it's fake. And yes, you see developers complaining about the fact that they spent whatever it was, 6 months working on that thing. That is a common refrain across everybody. I bet you could find Naughty Dog employees talking about that Last of Us Part 2 demo that they did when they made everybody walk in a church and watch a flute performance. The big Sony E3. And that's a very common thing. Where it tends to pop up is when things have gone wrong, and then they say, oh, we should have been working on something else. But to the credit of the company, and you can go and you can look at my channel and see 14 videos where I think they're doing stupid things. To the credit of the company, they don't make those pre-orders. They don't become the most hyped game of 2018, 19, and 20. They don't get to where they were moving into December of this last year without that demo and without those choices from management and without showing people what they think it could be. They missed the mark. They made mistakes, and then they made mistakes on top of mistakes heading into the winter. But from the business side of things, the developers complaining about that initiative in particular, perhaps the most successful hype cycle in the last 20 years, they're wrong.
Well, that's what the studio head came back and fired back at Jason with that. He said, because pretty much he's basically said that vertical slice is a common, thing. He even fired back.
Good, I'm glad to be backed up. I haven't seen this. I'm blocked from that thread.
well, if you go to Adam Wadowski's Twitter, the CEO, the studio head of CDProjektRed, his is up there and he has that. But I'll get that to you if you still need it. But pretty much he just say, it's hard for a trade show game to be a test vision of vertical slice. It doesn't mean it's fake. Compare the demo with the game. He goes in depth with that. He doubles down. He said, if you look at that demo now, it's different, yes, but that's what the work in progress watermark was for. He said, our final game looks and plays way better than the demo was. And the other point of contention is he said that when Jason said most of the staff knew and openly said it wouldn't be ready for release in 2020, he said, you'd only talk to 20 people, some being ex-employees, only one of which is not anonymous. I wouldn't call that most of the over 500 people staff openly said what you claim. Now, in Jason's defense, he did not answer all the other allegations that Jason had against the studio and what was reported. But look, Hoeg, this is on you. The whole apology, I saw your video, synopsis of your thoughts, and then the article / expose by Jason.
Yeah, so I looked at the apology. I analyzed the apology and did it basically section by section in virtual legality. We did our, different colored slides and things like that. The one thing I will say on it is the aspect that I didn't really see covered very much outside of my channel is that CDPR is currently being sued by its investors. More specifically, its American investors. And so there are a lot of sentences that you can see in that statement that are designed, somewhat ironically, to effectively say there was no plan to commit fraud. We're too incompetent / stupid to do that. And if you, and that's not to say that they actually are. That's what the message of the statement is. To say, we just didn't know what we didn't know. We screwed up. We got this timing wrong. Oh, we truly believed everything was fine, because the lawsuit against them is premised around them being nefarious, mustache twirling fraudsters.
I love that. I love the visual.
Exactly. That knew the entire time that, ooh, Sony's going to pull us off the store, but we're going to get them and we'll cash out before then. So that is the purpose of parts of the statement. The rest of the statement is pull the other one in terms of what they're saying. It's like, we didn't know the PlayStation, it was fine. We thought it was fine. The testers didn't show up anything. And oh, by the way, the city is just gorgeous, isn't it? How about those PC players?
The PC, right? They were very strong on the PC. We sacrificed all for the PC.
We couldn't make such a beautiful gem, the likes of which nobody has ever seen, if we didn't throw those console peasants under the mighty PC bus.
It's crazy. CD's done something I haven't seen too many people able to do. Get DreamcastGuy go live.
DreamcastGuy go live.
It's true. Well, it's true.
And so that's the statement. And I think it's better. I want to be honest. Okay, so there's my tilt here, which I put in my own videos. Loved Witcher 3. Have loved what CDProjektRed has been putting together for a decade. Was very, or more really, was surprised at how this all turned out. Was very critical of them in the fall and in the winter saying, you guys need to stop talking. You're making it much, much worse. And you're throwing people everywhere under the bus. Sony, Microsoft, your testers, stop. And then they get sued by their investors. And then this statement comes out, and I think a lot of people reacted to it negatively. I certainly pulled out some of the aspects that I thought were untruthful or at least close to the line. And the question is, why did they make the statement? And I would guess from the timing now is that they knew that the Schreier article was coming out.
That's what Schreier said in reference to Adam's response just now.
They wanted to put it out in front of it, which is you put all this timing together, you get that kind of notion. The Schreier article, you know, I read through, and like I said, some people criticize me on Twitter, say, well, it's just so broken, nothing seems new, because I looked at it and said, it's pretty hollow. I mean, the one thing I always recommend to people to do is to try to think about the other cases, which is that, you know, how often do the things that Schreier finds in a given company apply to every company and every industry and everything that is putting out a product into the world? And you know, one of the things I often say is developers, the creatives, the people making the thing will always want more time. There's no question. Things don't get finished. They get released to the wild. And a lot of the times you can land that plane. You know, BioWare landed that plane 7 times in a row before they really, really failed to land a couple planes, right? And you get that from all these things. And that's what CDProjektRed has done. He frames it as, well, we did The Witcher, it'll work out. To some extent, you are doing that in every management team, in every project. Software in video games is hard. It's a creative endeavor. You're doing 25 new things a day. And so I thought some of the framing there was tilted. And I think Jason does this. He gets the voices and he does this well. And I like that there's an investigative person in video gaming, period. But I think that has jaded him to some extent to hearing only everything is on fire all the time. And so I look at it, and I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of well-intentioned people, well-meaning people. CDProjektRed is huge and should maybe be doing this better than smaller developers. But everything I heard in that article, they said April 2020, and the one that he uses is kind of a damning silver bullet at the end of one paragraph is, and I thought it'd be lucky if we got it out in 2022 or whatever. And that's at the time that announcement is made. And you look at that, and that becomes the headline on IGN. The developers knew it wouldn't be ready in 2020. And I'm like, screw you, IGN. That is ridiculous framing of that kind of quote. Because what it is, oh my God, there's no way, my management is stupid, which if anybody has ever worked anywhere in the world has thought one time or another. And that might mean the management is stupid. And certainly they made mistakes and didn't release a product that seems to have crossed the finish line as we would all hoped. It might just mean that they're pressing hard and they think we can get it done and we can get it done. And maybe you, that is the concept artist or the level designer or the trigger pressure guy on the gunplay, can't see the whole picture. And I can always find a guy. I could always find a guy for the most popular games. I keep using Last of Us because it came in hot, but it won Game of the Year, and a lot of people love it. And
you comparing Last of Us to CDProjektRed's Cyberpunk 2077?
I know. Cyberpunk.
You're not doing that,
but
are you?
I don't mean to compare them like that.
To defend Hoeg, I see what you're saying is that they're both games that had their own style of controversy and a lot of crunch, a lot of very vocal crunch. But the difference was a finalized, polished product and a game that came out, and both of them had the same thing, which is there was some grumbling.
I gotta push back.
But I say this to answer that part, right? Because you know I'm going to defend the Game of the Year anyway.
Which one?
I say that there's only one Game of the Year.
He was the Last of Us too.
Someone cut his mic.
I'm going to say this to say different people in charge. Sony understands if something's bad, Sony will hold back.
True.
And I'm going to respect Sony in that.
That was their job.
That's what I love about Sony.
CDProjektRed
doesn't do that. All right. And they haven't done that with The Witcher either.
The Witcher was a much cleaner landing than this. I agree that its performance wasn't as good as it became, but that was a much cleaner release than this one.
The reason why it was a much cleaner release, Hoeg, is because the other two was abysmal messes at their launches as well.
And the other two no launch of Witcher 1.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't have the burden of expectation that Cyberpunk had, right? Witcher 3 coming to console was the first time a Witcher game had really come to console across the board. Like we got Witcher 2 on the Xbox 360 and we got it back compat. But those games were PC games. And that just didn't. So when The Witcher 3 came out, it was kind of a trash fire. It was. But again, they were forgiven because CDProjektRed then wasn't what we know CDProjektRed to be now. They just didn't have that sort of that cachet with the consumer. So it was always going to happen in that, like, regardless of the state that the game came out in. I'm not, defending it at all, but they were always going to catch more heat than they did for The Witcher, just because their stature was different.
Well, that most successful hype cycle I talked about earlier has its benefits and has its burdens.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the hype for this game was insane.
Right.
And so you're exactly right. That was always going to come back against them in that capacity of, if it's not perfect, if you have anything, it's gonna be a tweet storm of a spinning head, just like Bethesda's faced for years and years and years. Yeah. And that was in fact the case. I mean, my problems with Cyberpunk are actually a little bit more deeply in the bone, which is that they didn't tell me the stories that I thought I would get out of The Witcher. They didn't really have the characterizations in the campaign that I had expected. Right. And so that's different from my car occasionally floats and explodes the world, which does happen. So, I mean, I agree completely with what King said, which is that the right call is to pull it, or more specifically, to make it a PC-only release in December.
Right.
I mean, that's what you do. Yeah. And it's clear from the roadmap that they put in that apology that in all reasonable respects, we're not going to get the Cyberpunk that we had expected, the next-gen game, with any remotely kind of clean release until the end of this year.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like a year or later.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, they weren't coming in hot. They didn't have a runway. They didn't have an island to land. They didn't have any
landing gear.
And so they crashed the plane. And King is right that the right call was, this doesn't go out. Why? Because that hurts our brand reputation and our goodwill, and we have to go make up for it. And ordinarily, I would say then that was the wrong call to release it. Right. Except I don't know what the refunds look like. I don't know what money they made. I don't know how much people are going to hold it against them. And if they just devote themselves to a year of fixing it, I don't know whether they effectively get the No Man's Sky treatment and everybody's just cool with it after a little bit of time. Right. I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic. The last part I was going to say, Hope, before you leave, as far as the development, we're hearing different things, as far as, it's shifting from, the third person to first person, and the announcement, as far as, development not really starting until like 2016 and stuff like that, when it was announced 2012. Yeah, so what about the owner's responsibility on management? I know you're not a fan particularly of Jason's article, but I meant in reference to that level of, okay, we're announced in 2012 and then it doesn't get started till this, and then there's so much switching. Do you at least recognize that level of turmoil being a problem where the ownership responsibility should be on publishers, management, CEO, that kind of thing?
I think all of the responsibility should be on them, certainly. Yes. And I think they've made mistakes, and they've made a ton of them. And I agree that they shouldn't have released it in December as they did. Right. And I don't think that the things that they said at the time frame of the release were sufficient to satisfy their consumer base. And I don't think they should be satisfied. Right. Outside of that, I think the only thing that I would impress upon people is that really good products had a real high level of tumult. You guys love Destiny.
Facts.
Bungie has not landed a hot plane in their entire
Factual.
That is all they land.
Yes. Coming in hot all day, every day.
That's all they do. It doesn't look like it's going to work. I can't give away the secret to the game. I can tell you my brother worked on Forsaken. Yep. I could. Things are hot. Okay, things are hot.
They don't even have AC. They just boil up.
And yet they're a great developer, right? They're a great developer, and so different things work for different studios. And CDProjektRed thought, okay, we're going to do it like Witcher, and it certainly sounds like that is a great kind of tidbit from the stuff that we've been hearing. Is like, yeah, you would have expected them to make a third-person game. That's why when they put that demo out, everybody was like, what? Yeah, because Cyberpunk, you make a third-person game, and then the guy comes out so adamantly that you don't do gunplay out of first person, and he's like, I guess. Yeah. And it works-ish, but it's a different way of making a game. So I'm obviously of two minds here. I think they can get their goodwill back, but they really burned their reputation to the ground. Yeah. And you're not going to be able to sell the next game the same way you sold this game.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of friction there. Now, if it gets those 99% and it's awesome, people don't care.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing before you, because I wanted to hit you with that on your way out, which is 2 points you just made. One, cautionary tale to all other studio heads and game publishers, right, on how to handle. And then two, like you said, it's funny because if they do rebound, gamers will forget. Quick, the DLC, next DLC is
remember
hot.
who made Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is a company that did that? You just don't put it on the commercial. They'll never know. No, and I agree with you completely. I mean, the big mistake that they made at the end was the 4 release dates.
Yes.
Once you do that, you look incompetent. And you hit December and you're like, I can't do a 5th release date. Right. And you go to that investor call, and one of the things they say is, guys, we couldn't do a 5th release date. I mean, we couldn't do it. And so once you've locked yourselves in, you see some of the responses already happening here in early 2021 when the WB says one of their big foundational titles, that Hogwarts game, is going to sell a fortune.
Yep.
And they say, we don't know. Not this year.
And the key is this: indefinitely. It's okay,
we don't know.
Right?
It's not this year.
Exactly.
It's not this year.
That's where they messed up. Once you have the 3rd delay, it's okay to say, fam, indefinitely. But when the boardroom got that reputation, they're worrying about the quarterly financials over what actually can be produced.
I'm sure their cash position was stretched. I'm sure it was. But you go to a bank and you say, we got this thing finished. We just need another year. I mean, you're going to sell 13 million copies in a weekend. You can go get a loan. Yeah. So, I hear what everybody is saying. I am obviously upset with some of the things that they have done and how they've treated people. I think they're on the right course. And then we can get down to the nitty gritty of Cyberpunk not being anywhere remotely as good as The Witcher.
No, Hoeg, thank you for your time, brother. I know you got.
Yeah, I apologize. I have to go. Thank you so much for having me,
brother.
Thank you, brother. Always a pleasure, man. Hoeg Law, business law firm, the legend of virtual legality, and Lord King's affectionate wet blanket. I
love Hoeg for actually grounding people and keeping your stuff in perspective. He's only telling you the truth.
Just can't ground us. That's the only thing.
Maybe you don't want to hear the truth, but he's gonna give you the truth.
No doubt.
I have my opinions. They're strong. It is what it is. I love you guys. Thank you for having me,
brother. Have a good one, man. Enjoy your Sunday, brother. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Solve any super chats. Let's move on with DreamcastGuy and everybody else thoughts, and then we get out of here.
Actually, we just got John Melich with the $5 super chat. Awesome show as always. Great guest this week.
Oh, salute.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
DreamcastGuy, you went live. You had a lot to say.
What's funny is when he went live, I hit him up. I was like, "You good, man?" Like,
yeah. I mean, so just to look at this situation. I mean, I've put so many hours into this game. I've gone back and forth about loving the story and hating the glitches and thinking it's so good on my Xbox Series X, and it crashes on my PlayStation 5, and it looks like garbage on my roommate's old school VCR Xbox One. Jesus. I mean, it's such an erratic game, but this statement, I was much more a fan of the Jason Schreier article because it gave us our first concrete window into this project. And the big thing I feel like a lot of people kind of overlooked is the fact that CDProjektRed wanted this game to be the best game ever. Like that was their goal, was to try and make this the best game ever, but management released it unfinished. And honestly, I made a video reading every single freaking word of the article that Jason Schreier put out, because I think he explained so many good points as to the fact that like people were just kind of stuck in this huge multi-hydra team of like, all right, art's over here, audio's over here, here's the voice acting people, the writing team are trying to finish writing quests when they don't even know what guns are gonna have. Like I honestly I sympathize so much with the developers, but
me too.
That fake demo, that was the thing that stuck with me the most. And the reason why is because we do realize that everything is a bit of a puppet show. Like we've all been in the gaming industry. We've all watched so many E3s. We realize that to some degree, this is a play. They are actors that are coming out and pretending to play the finalized game. We understand that. But this was the first time where what we saw wasn't the game. None of that code.
There was features that wasn't even in the game.
None of that art. Like so much of that stuff was not in the game. And so I think we just have to realize that as weird and as much as it sucks, I think that this is going to be an educational moment for a lot of us. Of you can get excited for a game. Hype is absolutely the best part of a game sometimes, is that excitement before you get a chance to play it. We just have to realize now of like, all right, these people are to some degree BSing us because pre-orders matter. And that sucks, but I think that that can also be healthy.
No, you're making valid points. I mean, then literally King has been on that. I know he's been on that school. He's going to chop at the bit. I got to get the super chat solved, then add it.
Hold on, we got JD Gamer.
I think before JD, we may have missed one, too.
No, we got John Mellich and then we had
got
2J.
him? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got JD Gamer with the $5. $5 super chat. Will publishers really learn not to release early? There was Andromeda, Anthem, Cyberpunk, SOD3, SOTE. What was SOT?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, yeah. Days Gone. Only Nintendo seems to avoid this. JD Gamer again with the $5 super chat. There was a quote from Platinum Games that made me look at how the different platform holders handled game development, be it Microsoft, Nintendo, or PlayStation.
And then another one from JD.
Yeah, you did 3.
We have one more.
They said they'd learned, $5 super chat again from JD Gamer. They said they'd learned a lot about game development and quality control, since not hands off, but not micromanaging. So neither Sony nor Microsoft got the praise.
Gotcha.
I think the big problem is that the game console people, like if it's being published, if it's a Microsoft game or an EA game or a PlayStation studio project, the big problem is that eventually a lot of these people are slaves to investors. And I hate to say that because it sort of demeans art. I think people kind of forget the fact that as much as we respect these games, they are like old white dudes in suits who have never played anything but Candy Crush. At the end of the day, they kind of press the launch button sometimes. And so even sometimes people are putting out games that sometimes they don't want. I have had a chance to sit down and have private conversations with people sometimes. And like, I won't say his name, but I talked to somebody that worked on Doom Eternal. And I talked to him before they delayed it. And he was telling me straight up that the game was super ready to go. And they decided to delay it because they realized, okay, this game right now is a 9 out of 10, but if we push it into March, this will be a 10 out of 10. And so I think these big freaking publishers, sometimes they just say, well, we already have $10 million of pre-orders, and that's the entire budget. Just put it out. Like, just fix it later.
Facts.
DLC.
The ballroom. That's where the ballroom be winning out. Factual. Addict, man. Apology and the whole Jason Schreier article. What's your feelings on stuff?
I didn't catch up on everything about the Jason article. I did catch up a couple things where, like, apparently the whole game was supposed to be third person, and that's why some of the features were removed, like the climbing walls and stuff. But that's kind of weird. Apparently it was like the older gen consoles couldn't handle it or something. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing. I should have. But I think when it comes to this, I've been on the hill, put the fire, and I'm still on that hill. I want CDProjektRed to be, because if you can make CDProjektRed an example of, you can make anyone an example of. So but at the same time, I can't, like, a lot of people are trying to throw this company with like the Activisions and the EAs. I generally feel like this company didn't want to do what they did. They got caught in red tape, and they did it. I honestly think they regret what they did. I don't think they thought it was going to get this bad. Like, they thought they were going to get some.
I beg to differ.
I think they thought they were going to get some pushback. They were just going to be able to they're going to be able to bounce back in 6 months and they'll be fine. Right. I don't think they expected to get sued. I don't think they expected PlayStation to pull their game. I don't think they expected to the degree that happened. Like, I think that if they could, they'd go back and fix it. I don't think they would do it. No, I think they would. It cost their stock.
Yeah,
we're not going to go
I
into
understand
that.
Right to my point.
But at the end of the day, I'm not putting this company with the EAs and the Activisions. Like,
right there.
What EA and Activision do something.
I love you, King.
King is going in.
Because when EA and Activision do something, they wanted to do that. Like,
and so did they.
Let me talk.
No, I'm listening to you.
They will do something, and then they will come out blatantly and say they didn't mean to do it, and they will never do it again. But then you have someone.
So the kid that punches the kid in the face and say, "I won't do that no more," is the bad kid. I'm letting you talk. I'm just adding to it. I'm not going to let you talk in a vacuum. I'm going to join in with you
without letting me finish this.
He's putting flavor on your taco.
That's right. I'm putting salt and pepper on it, baby. Come on, let's get it.
Look, all I'm saying is what they did was slimy, but I won't put them with an EA. I won't put them with an Activision, because to me, I feel like they care more about their brand than EA and Activision. I think EA and Activision don't care. As long as they can pipe money down that line, they will do this again and again and again and again.
So will they.
I honestly don't think CD Projekt Red, I don't think they'll do this again.
They will. They have done it multiple times.
Get at it. Finish.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm rolling with him, and I like rolling with him.
Let him finish. Let him get
I'm not gonna keep talking with you.
We got Addict. Finish your boss.
I agree with Addict. I agree with that. Well, I think I agree with your point, Addict, which is that they are more afraid of the backlash. Like these big companies don't, because they are a conglomerate, whereas CDProjektRed is a studio. They're technically an indie studio. They're the biggest indie studio, but like that backlash affects them more permanently. Whereas EA makes a bad game. All right, we got six other games.
Didn't they lose like $2.5 billion in salt? Like, that value of that, like. I don't think they expected this. Like they expected some backlash. They expected some returns. They didn't expect PlayStation to go nuclear and be like, "We removing all your stuff." Like, they didn't expect, to the degree with our investors be like, "We're gonna sue you. Like you lied to us. We want our money back. We're gonna sue you." They didn't expect none of this. Like I honestly think that they thought they're gonna come out kind of like The Witcher did, where The Witcher was, a little bit busted. It wasn't as bad, but they knew it was coming in hot. It's like we said, Bungie likes to crash their ship, then they like to cool it down afterwards. Like when CD Projekt Red landed, there was no ship anymore, and they didn't expect that.
No, this was more than hot. So before I know it's your turn, but King clearly wants to disagree. So
I agree with King. So let me add to that, and then King could finish off, because then I'll jump in. And this is why I disagree with Addict, and I kind of agree with King. I do agree with Addict in that I don't think the level of backlash that they got was expected. They knew what they did, though, and the fact that it could happen again is just the reality of game dev. As much as they would want that not to happen, but I tell you, and you know why I believe that? Because the apology almost felt like a non-apology. And for one big reason, they did not come out and say and admit we knew what was wrong.
Facts. That is true. That part is true.
And we sent it out anyway. What they said was, we knew what was wrong. We hoped our day one patch would fix it. But we did not know, the people in charge of the game, we did not know that it would still be that bad when it launched. How do you not know that? Then he proceeded to sort of blame it on a QA and not catching it.
I wasn't talking about from like a technical standpoint. I was talking about the backlash. They knew this game was coming out busted. That's why they withheld the whole last gen.
And I agree with you. I believe that the level of backlash, if you go by what they went through with The Witcher, because they got plenty of backlash with the Witcher, but again, it was stupid on their part to think that because of how their name had risen since The Witcher. Like they knew they were going to be held to a higher standard, and maybe they didn't think Sony was just going to drop the game off of the digital games front, whatever, all that stuff. Maybe they didn't realize that was coming, but they knew backlash was coming. They just didn't know how much of it, right? But it goes back to the idea of when you make this apology, then at that point, be very clear that this is 100% our fault, and this is why it's our fault.
But they can't. Because of the lawsuit.
They can't.
And that's the thing, because they would incriminate themselves 100%, right? You. But at the same time, shut up then. Shut up and defend yourself in court, exactly. and then come out with the real mea culpa afterwards, trying to be as transparent as possible.
But they couldn't, because Jason Schreier's
so they would have had to answer that.
Thank you.
They would have had to.
This is why they are slimy.
So it's like they're getting beat up from both sides, and it's their fault they're getting beat up from both sides. And again, I always want to reiterate, this is not on the devs. When you give the people that make the art, the people that make the art, if you were to get them all in the room and ask them, when is this game ready to come out? This game is never ready to come out. I will work on it till my dying day. There's something I can add to this game. Right. That is the truth. So, to contextualize that is to say, okay, I would say 95% of them would say we needed another year. 100% to make a game that was at least polished enough and complete enough where this would not happen. Right. And again, and I've said this a million times. It's impossible to do it. But when you don't divorce the money from the art, this is what happens.
This is the boardroom versus developer.
This is what happens.
And then King got to go.
Yeah.
What happened with CDProjektRed is like one of those things that changes. I honestly think this is going to be a ripple effect. It's going to be a domino effect, and it's going to go through the whole industry. Like,
this is a teaching moment.
This is probably one of the biggest things that's happening in the industry, and probably this entire generation.
Listen, man, 343 is like, whew.
Yeah. They're like, yo, they don't forgot about us.
See, that's exactly my point. Let's get these super chats.
Okay.
Because we got to do this hot chip challenge for those people that stuck around. Hot chip challenge still on deck.
Yeah, we got stuff.
You forgot about it. I'm looking at the gloves and I'm looking at everything in my face right now.
Super chat solved, and then we gotta move on.
Okay, so we have the rubber knob.
Rubber knob. I got your text message. I hit you right back.
Morning, lords. My bushes start shaking when Cyberpunk is mentioned. It's like something from a horror movie. And we got JD Gamer once again with the $5 super chat. We should be able to judge games on if they are fun or not and do not look good. Was it accessible? Not if it freaking works. Save corruptions are not fun. Hold on, I need my old man glasses. I'm getting blurry right now.
You good?
So that was that. And I think we're good on super chats.
Yeah, you got that. Okay, cool.
I'm actually gonna run. I have not eaten today.
No, please, brother. Please.
I am starving.
DreamcastGuy,
care, brother.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for rocking out as long as you as we kept you hostage.
Thank you, Dreamcast.
It's been so fun. Thank y'all so much for having me out. This has been such a blast. I love y'all because y'all are such a wide range. Like y'all have that best friend vibe, which is very rare podcasts. I feel like a lot of podcasts kind of have that. We are professionals at a round table. I love y'all's best friend vibe, and also I love that y'all have such different viewpoints. Like honestly, that Addict and King argument that was awesome. I love you guys so much, man. Thank you so much.
Dreamcast, you're the best, man. Thank you. Enjoy your day, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, let me read JD's once again because I mangled that.
Oh, there it is.
Right hand side.
How do I get out of here?
Like, how do I leave?
How do I leave? Damn it! They sequestered me.
I've been foiled.
We have JD Gamer once again. We should be able to judge games on if they're fun or not. Do they look good? Was it accessible or not? If it freaking works, save corruptions are not fun. Yeah, I mean, I guess the level of broken that this game has been for a lot of people, and it's improving every day.
People, idea of fun is subjective. So, some people may say that graphics looking like doodle is not fun.
It's not fun. Yeah. I mean, obviously, your game freezing and you having to start over multiple times.
Yeah. They're gonna get this work.
Objectively not fun. So let's go. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, what is it? What was it? 2012 they talked about it, and then 2016 they showed this video. From the moment that you showed that video,
King, it was like 50 minutes long.
Oh, I got something to say about that when I get to
from the moment they showed this video, they already knew that they was committing fraud. From the second they hit that button, hit play, and they said work in progress. And okay, so what you say before the start, this is not representative of exactly what we're doing. This is a projection and we're trying to reach that, but you're not going to do that because you're used to doing old business. That's old business. We're so used to old business on this podcast that we've seen it before, so we recognize it, but the new guys don't know old business. So they look at it, and when I say old business, I'm gonna give you a for instance. I know you always like to say I'm going in on Sony, but Final Fantasy, not the same thing that you got when we got in the house. We've been looking for that ballroom dance for a long time.
I remember that old that old
exactly. What is it? 3DO with the M2.
Oh Lord!
I still haven't saw anything that look as good as that to this day.
You remember what was it? The D3?
Yes.
D3?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yo, it had ray tracing back then. It was crazy.
3DO had ray tracing back
then. I saw that. I was like, oh, hell no.
Factual. All right, so they knew that they was committing fraud then, right? Now, when they said we felt it would be like The Witcher, 3, exactly. They already bamboozled you the first time. They already smacked you in the face the first time. And you accepted it and you went on with it. And the reason why they got so much praise is because they gave you free DLC. They gave you free DLC while they was fixing it, keeping going. We're fixing it, we're keeping going, we're trugging on. All right, so they built up all this great status, like Sovereign said. The company has risen. Their status is totally different now. They're looked at as a AAA studio.
You know what's funny, King?
About the public. I don't think they care.
You know what's funny, King, is like they did so much with The Witcher in terms of like the product that they delivered that people were they were considering them on like Naughty Dog level.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yo, and I give props to BG because BG from the beginning was like, no, y'all out here, y'all capping too hard. They made one big game. And it turned out to be true. It's like they drank a little bit too much of their own Kool-Aid, and when it came down to it, they were not prepared.
They were prepared to do exactly what they did. I'm not letting them off the hook because let me tell you something. You had all these checkpoints, and this was your conscience talking the first time you delayed it. This was your conscience talking the second time you delayed it. It was your conscience talking the third time you delayed it. You should have been indefinite. You know, and I'm keeping the same energy I kept with Microsoft. Now I didn't know anything about Craig. To me, I thought the game looked good. The game didn't look like this game, right? You're sitting here talking like, you know, did you see this game?
Listen,
did you see how many Craig faces is out there?
Bro, I tell you, when you remember the interview I did with Cog at E3 after he had gotten to see it, and Cog was like, "This doesn't seem like I can't believe this is true."
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I got a lot to say.
So he's going to get to that point, but this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. They built up this wealth. Now, this is the perfect storm. This doesn't happen if COVID doesn't happen. Everybody's anticipating this. Yeah. Everybody's sitting there with bated heart, like we need something to play, and this is it. This is the driving force. All your pre-orders did this. All the board saw it, like, yo, 8 million already? Yeah. Okay, we can do this. How fast y'all can get this game out? Oh, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet.
What you mean?
Well, the fourth time, you're not ready yet, bro. Yeah. Like, this got to come out this year because I got this yacht that I just put down and I'm going to Aruba, and they're talking about the vaccinations and you know, the situations, and you know, everybody on the board, like, dudes don't even play games is on the board, like, yo, that game got to go out. Can't you fix it later? Like you did The Witcher, like with the money that we gave you the last time? Can you do it like you did the last time? You can always rebuild your reputation. And it was like, but just one more year. They're not trying to hear that when I got to pay this mortgage on this boat and stuff. No. This game got to come out now. Okay, well, what about the PlayStation base and the Xbox One, the first one? What about that?
What about them dudes?
Yeah, we worrying about that PC. Show it on the best light. And don't show it no place else. Put it out there. So you're committing fraud straight from the rip. You're no better than EA and everybody else. But the only reason why EA can eat that is like Sovereign and Addict said, they have other IPs that they can just flow off.
Facts.
This is an independent. Yeah. Maybe the greatest independent that we got going now. Facts. And when you are beholden, like Sovereign said, to the bag, when the bag man is on your head and telling you, well, your artistry is very nice, my man, but I got this car note.
Yeah, the budget.
So get this game out. You knew from the rip that you was committing fraud. You can't say anything because of the lawsuits. Right. I respect that part. You trying to say anything. You know, Sovereign wants you to shut up. Shutting up right now gets you in trouble. Sony at that time, the reason why Sony yanked it, Sony at that time was having their own little issues. Right. They don't need that pile on. They said, no. This is not even of our own volition. You understand? We don't need that over here, bro. You promised something else. You got to go. Yeah. You got to get out of there.
Because they go in there and they tell them, yeah, if you need a refund, just talk to these guys. So
like, who sent you here?
What?
Who sent you to my house? Like, why are you at my door? Like, what? Bring what? No. You gotta go. So this is what happens. There's a perfect storm for them. How they avoided all of this was putting it off until next year. Now, I did not buy said game.
I feel you.
Because the game didn't come out yet. It comes out when that next generation patch comes out for the game.
Winter 2022.
Yeah, so that's when it comes out. It comes out next year when it was supposed to come out, when everything was ready. I never trusted them. I never trusted them. I never trusted them because of The Witcher. Like you guys forget, and you have this what a goldfish memory.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the dude that smacked me. I remember all the clothes that he had on. I remember if his hoodie was folded. I remember every last thing.
You remember that
I'm not
Witcher?
gonna forget. So the Witcher smacked me, and I learned from the beginning, don't trust those dudes because they do lie and they try to fix it up later. They beat you up and they buy you candy. I'm not about these dudes. And they beat you guys up so bad this time that you was in a hospital and candy's not fixing it. No. So you guys got to really step up with your money. It's your purchasing power that is dictating if this game comes out or not.
Game is never due, and the broad room stay winning.
And the broad stay winning. And I tell you this, to something
and
that,
they sued them
Hoeg
and get
said,
more money.
Yeah, for sure. And this, to something that Hoeg said, I think at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, when the conversations really start to happen about whether this game is as good or better than The Witcher, and a lot of the consensus is no.
Right.
That's when beyond this stuff, because gamers have short memories.
Right.
But when it comes to the quality of the game, that's what you do remember.
That's what you do remember. Yeah, absolutely. So
I feel it's not gonna bode well, because at the end of the day, like Addict said, they wanted this to be the biggest game ever. At the end of the day, if you didn't even hit the landing from a technical standpoint, and once that's resolved and the game doesn't hold up to your previous game, and that's because Hoeg mentioned something about the stories. That's what allowed me, when The Witcher was broken in the beginning, right? That's what made me say, all right. But I've never seen side stories like this.
Right.
I've never seen detail in side characters like this in an RPG. And that's what kept me going until they fixed it.
Right.
Apparently, this is not the case with this game. This is not what this game is. It's not even a building upon what made that previous game great. So it's just like, oh man, they have an even bigger uphill battle to fight.
They do. Sorry, the super chat. I don't want to get my joint. Get off.
We got Michael, aka Best Finest, with $10 super chat. Off topic on Tetris Effect. I got the very last stage, and let me tell you, this game will stress you out. Yes, you have to break 100 lines, plus it's at speed 8. I almost broke my premium TV, King. Yeah,
that's factual. Tetris Effect's crazy.
And I think, hold on, I know Gamer by Choice. I think we missed Gamer by Choice with the $5 super chat. Great show, everyone. I really enjoyed the Star Wars topic. I saw the first movies in the theaters in the 70s. Salute to the lords and the guests. Thank you.
Salute. Thank you, bro. Yeah, man, look, y'all said everything I damn near say. I'm waiting on 2021 at the end, and I'm only playing it so I can get the best representation. I'm on that King joint. You know, I have the game. You know, I did get caught up in there. The only point I do want to say, though, is, to the demo part, you know, Sav, you were there. You interviewed me after, the joint. And, look, we were excited.
Yeah, excited by
it. Yeah, he was happy.
I was hyped. You know, what I saw was definitely next level. So, for me, look, we all know the game, right? And we all know the vertical slice stuff, you know what I'm saying? But when you read about how many systems and stuff that have been cut out and all that stuff, it does rub me the wrong way. We got articles on LordCognito.net with this stuff. I would promote it like, what I saw was really revolutionary. So that part is sad. And then the last thing is, as far as the financial result stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, again, boardroom winning. You know what I'm saying? And this should be their cautionary tale. You can't fall into that trap. Like King said, if it's the third delay, that should tell you. At that point, now you risk your reputation permanently. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing there. So look,
if they waited for you that long, they're gonna wait for you until it comes.
And another thing, like when that demo that you saw, Cog, like when you see most vertical slices, right? It's a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
This was like it's 45 minutes of gameplay. It's like this is the game. Like you're confident.
This what got me tight with old boy is that they got me in there 45 minutes. Look crazy. We giving feedback, and then he gonna make the statement that the game now look better. Stop.
Fair
ammo.
Yeah, like this is trash. We're showing you the trash.
It might be the next gen DLC patch that come out. That's when it look better.
Shout out to Forte. See, Gabe is still going by. He said, I just sold 3 copies of Cyberpunk today. There's a larger number of people that don't care. Most of them have just said they like what they seen from friends that played the game. That's what I'm trying to say. The ballroom's still going to win. The yacht's still going down.
The sad part about it is like the game's good. It's just like technical difficulties.
I would never know.
It's so bad.
Look, we over. King's got this Pocky joint, but I know we had the last topic. Are we okay to skip
let's drop that topic.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to get up my stopwatch on my phone.
All right, no doubt. This is the Pocky time. I'm gonna make.
We doing it live here?
Yeah, this is live.
Live. But put all the topics hot.
I don't know how Zoom works. Can you highlight King's camera on here?
That's a good question.
Because I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe if we're gonna have to mute our mics. Maybe if he talks, it'll highlight it.
I'll be talking.
Well, I'm just saying, like, we have to mute our mics so it doesn't go on.
This is the part where the jewelry comes off.
Well, let's see. Y'all talking now. Look like. Yeah, it's not switching to me, so I think we good. I think unmute y'all. Unmute, so
the part where the jewelry comes off.
Because I double clicked them. I think that might work.
No, it's switching on mine.
Oh, it's still switching.
Switching.
Yeah, it might not be switching on your end though, because you're the one doing it.
Right.
Yeah, it does it.
Okay. Yeah, so get ready, y'all. It's that time.
This is the time.
Chip.
Wait, are we muted or not muted?
No, y'all
can talk. Y'all can talk because they don't be able to see me anyway.
Yeah, I double clicked him, so right now it's all focused on him. Yeah. This is it right now. The Jew house is coming on. Ooh.
Go ahead and take off the overlay so we can see this.
He said take off the bottom joint?
Yeah, just take off the overlay in general. Just the only thing left is Zoom.
Oh, I think do we configure
that?
Yeah,
just hit the I button.
Yeah, man, I don't like the jewels coming off. It reminds me of Lucky at the end of Donnie Brasco.
Hold on, let me tweet this. Let me tweet this. Everyone in the chat, tweet that King's about to do it.
Y'all better tweet it out. Y'all better this is the gloves. Y'all better share it out. and like, yo, hit all your PlayStation dudes up right now. All the PlayStation dudes that don't like me, hit them up and tell them right now. He about to get his comeuppance.
Where's Wilmy? Wilmy wasn't in the chat.
I'm tagging him.
Tag Wilmy. Tag Wilmy. You know
he said I had to put this on the big screen.
We got scrolling down with the 5 Live Super. Yo, I had to put this on the big screen.
this is what I'll be, drinking.
Organics. Okay.
Yeah, my favorite, my Aki juice. And then, water.
Oh, man. Here we go.
All right. See, sailed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Attic, you got the tweet out so I can retweet it?
Yeah, I tweeted.
All right,
cool. Sailed. Open on one end. Open on the other end.
All right, everyone in the chat, go to this tweet and retweet this.
It says
everyone in that chat, man, retweet that. We got to get as many people
versus
here,
the Reaper. What is expected? A spicy punch to the tongue.
King can't drink milk. People are asking about milk.
I don't drink milk.
Yeah, King can't drink milk.
So this is what comes inside of it. Is nice. There's a little joint to set you up for the death. What's this? Okay, that's about it on there. The chip is in here. All right. It says real peppers, real heat. 2020. They give you a whole. This is their joint. If you want to get down with the picante joint. Yo, this
burn the roof of your mouth.
You did go head to head with the Reaper. So them brothers got the Reaper with the boxing gloves, so they giving me a little
they got the pocket.
They're like, yo, King, you ready for the Reaper, my guy? All right, so what I'm going to do is can't do it like that.
So
let me get these super chats.
Would it not let you get rid of the overlay?
Okay, you don't
nah.
Yeah.
Because I want to cut this and put it separately on YouTube.
It's not.
Here we go.
I'm unsealing it right now.
All right. We got
this joint is
$2
black.
super chat. I did not make this happen.
It's black.
Yeah, it's covered.
It's black.
Jesus.
That's the bad one.
Like, oh Lord.
There's one before that. That's the new one.
Get
That's
that
the
hoodie
one.
off, brother. Get that hoodie off.
Oh!
Get that hoodie off, man.
Well, let me.
We got the Living Flame $2 super chat. King, I can't look. Stay strong.
He said I can't look.
Then we got Mariano Pompa $5 super chat.
you right
Godspeed, King.
What's the
I'm
vibes
gonna tell you
right
right now. That joint hot as hell.
Did you put the stoplight on?
Oh man.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That joint hot as hell.
Woo.
Telling you right now.
Yeah, he started at 354. I got up too.
We got Night Music with the $5 super chat. Critical hit.
Woo. Yeah. Woo. Like, what it feel like though? What it feel like? It's not like a spicy.
Yo.
Like what it feel like?
Hottest dying.
Yo, you about to go in the booth? You like you about to spit crazy bars?
Woo.
Like it's the hottest ever. Like it's like a jalapeno.
Yeah.
Get the water ready though. Just so, you know what I'm saying? We got 4 more minutes. You know what I'm saying?
5 minutes on the oof.
Oh, my man going through the kick. Oh, he in the club. He in the club right now. He good right now. The top of the head is sweating. The top of the head. Woo. Jesus.
Ooh. Oh God.
Jeez. That joint look crazy, yo.
We got Spartan Ghost with the $2 super chat. Jim Ryan getting revenge for all the PS5 shades.
TCL in the
Carl,
building.
you know there's going to have to be 2 splices this week for ILP.
Oh my God. Ha. Ha.
Woo. Is it more on your tongue or is it your throat?
Nigga.
Woo.
It's all over your body.
The child friendliness is out the window.
Yeah. We might break some rules. We might break some rules on the Lord's
IOP
Day.
after dark. Here we
This
go.
might be an IOP after dark.
5 minutes. Gotta get that 5 minutes. Get that.
Fuzzy said call 911. He said,
Oh my
It's
God.
supposed to look. The way it's designed, it gets worse as the 5
as it go on.
minutes
All right, so the first drink of water.
it's actually
the-
cooling off.
Oh, okay.
No,
King,
no,
I love you,
it
but you
picks up
deserve
again.
this. Shay Tablet, Pixel Bit. You
Then
can
he
see him
picks up again.
losing
It
XP.
does. I've seen a lot of people do this. It picks up more.
Woo. Hey.
We got Pixel G $2 super chat. You can see him losing XP.
Yo, Smitty Smith said, Wyclef John, someone call 911. It's going down. My man is the king for a reason. He the king for a reason. Let's go. You know
All
what I'm
that
saying?
biting controllers.
3 minutes.
Nah.
We at the
Look at
3 minute mark.
Forte. Look at Forte. He said, waiting for the sweat. He's already sweating.
He already sweat, but he 3 minutes in with
Listen,
the king.
first of all, I sweat like Patrick Ewing anyway.
Woo!
So all that other stuff that y'all worrying about, I already told you who the hell I am.
That shirt, the purple in your shirt.
Let's go.
We got Wandering Dutch $5 super chat
Let's go.
to buy some cold liquid for your mouth.
Let's go. Let's go.
Squirrely Dan $2 super chat got King to cuss it on
Yeah,
Sunday.
he cussed on the Lord Day.
Let's go.
Chest is out.
He already ate
Let's
the
go.
chip.
Yeah, but still 257. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Forte, looking at you.
Hell I am. Let's go.
Woo.
If they got a second wave, it better kick in now. That second wave better kick in now.
J-Dub is a shill, $20 super chat. King, be sure to use flushable wipes tonight,
Let's
bro.
go.
Water will not help you. Maybe honey, since you can't do milk. This $20 is for
Got
providing
something for that. Don't
entertainment.
even worry about that. I'm telling you right now, we raiding right after that.
Yeah, King, yo, you're not going to do that. You're going to go do the raid.
Let's go. Let's
So
go.
let me ask you, like,
See,
the sensation is all over your
if-
body?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you
wasn't-
right now, your lips get crazy, your throat is nuts. One thing you don't want to do is swallow. That's it. It's in the back, it's in your ears,
because then it'll be
it's
in
in
your
your
throat.
eyes, it's all over. But it's doing this thing. Let's go.
So
It
don't
better
drink
have a
it.
second
If-
wave.
if-
Because if
if
it's
I
that
wasn't-
first wave is what it is, it better have a second wave.
If I wasn't so bad with like heat shit, I'd do it too. But I ain't.
It better have a second wave.
Because you talking that
wave, if this is the wave,
They waiting for it to
it's
kick.
mad booty. It's mad booty.
They
I'm gonna
waiting
tell you
for it
right
to
now,
kick.
it better have a second wave.
358.
I'm that dude.
How much
Smitty
you-
Smith,
You're gonna
$5
respect
super
me.
chat.
You're gonna put respect on my name. You're gonna know who the hell I am. I'm that dude.
Dado said, I hope these ain't King's last word.
Let's go.
Push through, King. Push through, King. They can't stop you.
It better have a second wave. It better have a second wave.
We got
right now.
Bedstar's finest $5 super chat. King got all these napkins by his desk for all that sweat that's about to happen.
Yo, it ain't happening though. It ain't happening. It better be a second wave.
Pixel 50 say he talking gully, real gully.
Talking gully right now. That's
it better be a second wave.
Bad booty. That's the quote.
You better retweet this and show this to your friends.
Oh, it's retweeted. Your fuzzy said it's wearing off.
That's what I told you.
Ooh, he in there. He in there, yo. He's hard body with it. Karate, y'all.
I told you who the hell I was.
Citizen said
it was a joke.
Citizen said the second wave is the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, this is where y'all be hoping, wishing, and praying. Hoping, wishing, and praying.
Keep talking spicy.
Let's go. Let's go.
He hit
Tell me when the 5 minutes hit so I can drink my
you
joint.
Started at 3:50. Yeah, he's there.
Let's go.
Y'all.
Let's go. You thought it was gonna be something. Y'all might say, "Oh no, King, that's not a real chip." It was a hell of a real chip. It was definitely in the building, but he can't spar with the King. The guard is crazy. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, told you who the hell I was, and I'm going to do some raids right after this. Let's go.
Forte said, "I see you play." Forte Bethesda. He said, "I see you play."
There we go. I told you, Forte, you're gonna tell the legend of King David. Y'all gonna be talking about me forever. And any one of you podcasting dudes that be out there, oh, you know, King, I don't think he's a real dude. I'm the realest dude on the way.
Talk that talk, King. Get him.
Let's go.
Get him.
Let's go.
Don DeMarco.
And I ain't drink nothing. I got my drinks and stuff is right here.
Don DeMarco.
Right here.
He should be done. He's
done. He did it.
And what? And listen, and here we go. And it ain't had no second wave. And if there was a second wave, all you dudes is buns.
He is the king for a reason.
I told you who the hell I am. Don't play with me. I don't even got a drink like that. Come on now.
You're in your bag, brother. You're in your bag. I gotta give it to you. You did that.
I told you you would be fine.
He did that.
We got Philly Eagle $5 super chat. The second wave is on the exit. And then we got Stitch with the $2 super chat. I think King ate a piece of Labo.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, my lips are still burning. It's what it do, but it's not stronger than me. Mentally, I'm crazy. And then the worst thing they could have did was put a boxing glove dude in here.
You have to put the speaker view.
So once I saw this, and it was challenging me to a fight. Oh man, nigga, I'm not gonna.
And we got Squirrely Dad $2 super chat. King be like, the champ is here. The champ is here.
You have to like the top left. It'll be like unpin him or something like that on the top left of his thing.
Oh yeah, that's why he's pinned. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Yo, he did it, bro. We got more super chats.
Man. Yeah, we got Rubber Knob with the $5 super chat. Just wait for the aftermath. King's gonna get a private showing.
When King told me that he's regularly eating hot stuff, I knew you would be. Like the thing that hits people is when they don't be getting hot stuff at all.
I got jalapenos inside my refrigerator.
I don't like none of that stuff. Like at all.
Telling me, oh, that jalapeno, you don't know what it is, man. Let me tell you something, man. You don't never know what it is, man.
That's why, like, if I ate that, I would die because I don't.
But like going down, like that joint, they blow up your throat. Like,
let me tell you,
like it hit Kid Smooth so hard, King, that he literally he put a mouse pad in.
So your lips is numb.
My lips right now. No, it's not that though. No. My lips feel like like a little burn, like it's.
So what was the worst part?
Oh, when it hit that wave, like it was one part where I swallowed, and old boy was like, "What's up?" It's like, yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. I got you exactly where I want you. I was like, come on, man, spin off the ropes, throw the jab.
He's a boxing move.
Off me, man, just back it up a little bit. All I did was had to breathe. That's all I did. Had to focus, and all I had was you guys. See, now let me tell you something.
Forte giving it up right now. He giving it up. Remember the talk we had in the party chat?
Yes. The strength of every supporter, every dude that was cheering me on, I was never gonna let you down.
Salute.
Not one point. And all those haters that was sitting there like, yeah, we got it.
Well, they tuned in. They was like, yo, King about to die, let's get him. TCL PlayStation Gang was like, yeah.
And just to clarify, this Wednesday, me and King are gonna be playing that Madame Medine, whatever it is. We're gonna be Madame. We're gonna be co-oping that. So definitely tune into that. We're gonna be on the IOP Twitch channel.
Salute, man. Yo,
I
salute
put
to
blood
the
in your
king.
soul.
I'll think about it, man. I might do the one chip challenge too. I'll think.
No, you only doing the one chip challenge. You put Pony up that money.
No, you gotta have some reflex.
Yo, let me tell you something right now.
I'm vetoing him.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If Will ain't put up no bread, I'm not doing that.
Shout out to Movie Hood, the sponsor.
All right, solve. Go ahead and put up the exact same thing he had, but put it for me.
Oh,
and if someone does it, I'll do it. I'll die because I can't take heat like he can, but I'll try it.
So why even bother? Don't do that.
Let's preserve your health.
You know what he did?
You
know what he did?
Listen, I'm not dying for nobody.
He saw me. You know what he did? He saw me. And he got strength and belief. He said, my man can do it, I can do it.
There is nothing you did that's giving me strength that I could do that.
Yo, but I'm gonna tell you right
I
now,
know
let me
for a fact it's gonna KO me the hell out.
I cracked the lemon water open, and this is all I drank from it. And then all I did was I drank some of my whatchamacallit. I drank some of this, and this was only for flavor. Like I wanted some flavor in my paws. I eating ice cream. I will let. Oh my God! Come on, man.
I will let Saul. And if it does, I will do it live just like you did.
No doubt. Yo, see King absorb the energies of his fan like Goku with the spirit ball. Get the super chat, then we gotta get about it.
We got the medic with the $5 super chat. Y'all didn't know Spice Immunity is a Game Pass Ultimate exclusive feature. King out here being an advertisement. Then we have. Yeah, 14 with the $5 super chat. I was talking mad stuff. Glad I was wrong, bro. You the real MVP. You better than me. The next beer is on me. I'll run you through a raid anytime.
Factual. We all caught up? We got J-Dub again.
Yeah, we got Black Ronin with the $5 super chat. King talking to exhaust all the heat and props. So he's talking to get it out of his mouth. Pause. J-Dub is a still $5 super chat. We have to get King to try some African pepper next. I enjoy very hot stuff as well. Hat Sire.
You know, we should do.
I eat Scotch bonnets, man.
We should get Cognito to do it with me.
Oh, Lord. No. Okay, first of all, let me make this clear to everybody that's watching. I'm gonna make this 100% clear to you guys that's watching. This ain't no joint we gonna pop a chip for you. Okay? All right, so you become a Patreon and you go to that Patreon tier and you hit that tier. Now, when you see that tier and you're gonna see that price on that tier, you're gonna be like, I'm not gonna do that. So calm down, pump the brakes on. We gonna get Addict to jump out the window. Calm down, pump the brakes. Sovereign said he ain't doing it no matter what the price is. And Cog said, calm down, pump the brakes. I will put another chip challenge up there again because I'm gonna tell you right now,
2 chip.
I mastered it.
Oh,
actually, there's actually something worse than
yeah, it is. They got stuff like
it's
that.
It's called like the devil's juice or something like that.
You guys are more fearful for what it might be and not what you are. I am built Ford tough. All right, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I grew up in Melrose Project, 100%. This is absolutely nothing. I had no fear in my heart. I had COVID. And not diagnosed with it, but that's the only reason why it took this long to get it done, because I would have did it that same day.
Yo, salute to Will Me Hood, man, for putting it up. You know what I'm saying? We got to give him his credit.
Will Me is the man.
So salute to him, his games behind the box, you know what I'm saying? The whole joint. Yo, salute to y'all. Salute for y'all cheering King on. Salute to the haters that came to see King die. I like that. You know what I'm saying?
I love you guys.
Yo,
and I
it was
love right now, I put feces in your socks. I love that. Wow. I love right now.
Citizen said he's shipping his knees to you.
With the feces toe.
Al said King Booty Hole going to be on fire later on. Ain't nothing
you said I was going to be on fire now. I don't believe you. You need more people.
And then Michael Bethesda, he said King talking like he went up to Hot 97 to drop a Hot 16, but I got holding it down. Salute. Kings. They say he built different. Came back in it. Yo, everybody is showing love, man. That's what's up, man. Yo, we appreciate y'all without y'all stand for our foolishness.
Shout out to Binky watching, talking about 100%. Shout out.
Salute. Chino, salute. That's all I got. Anybody got anything else before we wrap out of here? This super long, crazy show.
Nah, that's it. Let's leave it on that.
Let's leave it on that. We see y'all next week.
Actually, what's the sad part? It wasn't even that long compared to our old
to our normal show. I know it's like a 5-hour show.
Bless up. I told you what me pan do to you.
Bless up. You stupid. And on that note, we see y'all next Sunday.
Say you're the real dada.
Bye.